Welcome into NFL Daily. We are live for 2021 NFL trade deadline coverage. I'm Harrison Graham. He is Tom Downey, and we are presented by Manscaped. If you want to get the best men's grooming products on the market, it's a perfect gift for you ladies watching, your husband. You need some men's grooming products. Tom, he was kind of a sleazeball before he got going with Manscaped. You can, I've heard some stories.
Why am I catching strays 30 seconds into the show?
Stories from his wife, MK, who has, it's all good now because you got going with Manscaped. Manscaped.com/chat, the best men's grooming products out there, including a couple of new items, which are fantastic as well. They've also gotten into the body wash and shampoo game. That is awesome. Go check those products out. We'll tell you guys about them throughout the show. All right, Tom, NFL trade deadline. A couple of moves have already happened.
Yeah,
excited?
I'm a little bit surprised you've had some early action, some fairly noteworthy early action as well. Yeah, maybe that means it'll continue throughout the day. We'll see.
We'll see.
The NFL trade deadline is always so quiet, It's not nearly as active as the NBA or even the MLB trade deadline. Which, by the way, I love in the MLB how trades come in like an hour afterwards.
A couple of years ago. I'll give you $10 if the Astros make a trade. It was like 30 minutes after when they got Zach Greinke. So type me if you're excited for the NFL trade deadline. Melvin Engram to the Chiefs, Charles Omenihu to the 49ers. A couple of moves have already gone down. So we'll obviously track the latest news, the rumors, the moves that happen over the next, 2.5 hours, Tom? Just under 2.5 hours?
We'll call it 3.
We'll get a countdown going. We doing a countdown at some point? We'll have a countdown clock going. Type me. Tom, give us some shout-outs for the folks in the chat
I see Robert Bruce, Anthony Jones, Mark Gabbert, Dwayne Broussard, Steve Goldman, countdown Gamer Dude, Gino, JW, AW Top Guy, Kane Life, Robert, Ricky, Untouchable Raider is in there as well. As you can see that countdown clock, bottom of your screen there. Koa Win. Hopefully I got that right. I know that's a tricky name for me. JW Buffalo Dre in there as well. Sarah Small's back. Zachary Lynn's watching. Jordan Dolphin Leroy. Well, I think that's a Dolphins fan. I think we'll talk about the Dolphins at some point today.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. How about this? Over, under 4.5 trades today. Does that include the 2 that have already happened?
If you are taking the over, yes. If you're taking the under, no.
Okay, so answer it based on what you would prefer. I prefer trades, so let's get the trades rolling.
Hammer the over.
Type O for over, U for under. We're already at 2. I'll take the over.
I think if we count the 2, I think 3 more trades is very possible.
Oh, certainly. There's a lot of teams that should sell.
Denver should continue to sell. The Jets should sell whatever they can. The Broncos should be selling bigly as well.
The Bears should sell, but they're not going to.
I think what else should be happening, by the way, is I think the Dolphins should maybe sell some pieces. Some whispers out there around Devontae Parker right now, which is interesting. Maybe to the Colts.
We got a super chat. I want to flash that and then go through our menu real quick, and then we got some news to get to, so stay tuned for that. But want to get to this super chat and show you guys our super chat menu today. Fireball shots today. Well, Sergio, not for $2, but there are opportunities to have me and Tom take some shots. Here is our super chat menu. Let's take a look here. $1, a super chat of any amount, we will shout you out. $5, we'll talk about your favorite team. Just be like, hey, talk about the Jags. We'll do it. $10, Bean Boozled. You want to explain that one, Tom?
Yeah, I meant to grab the beans and I forgot to. So if Jeremy wants to grab them or somebody out there for us, I don't even know where the beans are. We'll play the Bean Boozled game. I know they're somewhere here in the office.
You want to explain that?
Yeah, it's like that trick pack of jelly beans where there's one of 2 flavors, either a good one or an absolutely disgusting one. So far, I've only gotten the disgusting ones.
Well, that's how life works.
Yeah,
right?
We'll see what happens. $15 will go right to the roulette wheel spin. Oh, Marshall's got it. There we go. Thank you, Marshall. $20 shot and beer chaser. And if the beans are bad, maybe I'll just do one in there. All right, there we go.
There you go.
All right, Bean Boozled. So, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You have it, so I think that means you're going first.
All right. Yeah.
Read the flavors.
So flavors here we've got spoiled milk or coconut, chocolate pudding or canned dog food, dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie, booger and juicy pear, rotten egg, popcorn, stinky socks, tutti frutti, stink bug, marshmallow, toothpaste and blueberry, barf and peach, dirty dishwater and birthday cake.
So Tom's gonna take a shot here, or take a chance at that here. It's basically 50-50. Travis Daly, you're the reason we're doing this Bean Boozled. You sent in a $10 super chat. Where will OBJ get traded to? I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on a potential OBJ trade?
I don't think he gets dealt. I think we'll come back to this more in depth as well, Travis. It comes off very clear to me that OBJ does not want to be there anymore. He kind of wants out.
Him and Baker don't mesh.
It's very strange. So we'll see what ends up happening there as it relates to Odell Beckham. We'll come back to this. But I think this is either the spoiled milk or the coconut one. Now, I don't know. This has been eaten a little bit, so based on Marshall's reaction there, I think it's going to be the spoiled milk, but we'll see.
All right, we'll find out. Let's see.
No, it's coconut. Let's go. All right.
All right, you can hand it to me because I'll be doing it next. So $10 Super Chats, and I
think it's coconut.
That. All right, we do have some news to get to here, Tom, and it's actually not trade deadline related, but it's a major story across the NFL right now. Henry Ruggs, the second-year receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, was in a car crash late last night, early this morning in Las Vegas, about 3:40 in the morning, and I was always told nothing good happens after midnight, Tom. Lots going on here. Tell us what we know so far.
Not a whole lot at this point. TMZ was the first outlet to kind of break the story that Ruggs was involved. They also report that a source close to Ruggs told them that he's going to be okay, but there were other people involved in this car crash, and although there are various random Twitter rumors out there, it's not clear what the condition of those other people involved in the crash, how it happened, if there were drugs or alcohol involved. So all we really know right now is that Ruggs was amongst those involved in a car crash, happened early, I guess Tuesday morning, out in Vegas. We don't know the conditions of really anyone involved. TMZ says, who broke the story initially, that Ruggs is going to be okay, but we don't really know anything else beyond that. So it's a very scary situation.
We do know this. We've seen photos of the crash. Ruggs' car,
not
bad
good
shape. The other car was on fire.
Yeah.
So a high velocity impact type of crash. We do know that. We don't know the severity of injuries to Ruggs and or other people at this point. And as we get more information, we will keep tabs on this here live on our NFL trade deadline coverage. Thoughts and prayers to everyone involved, as always. Hopefully, all is well for everyone involved. But like we said, we will update this story as information comes in. And by the way, Mitchell Wren's the host of our Raiders Report. He's going live shortly over there. So if you want to keep tabs on more information there, we'll cover it as well. But he's going to cover it exclusively, youtube.com/Raiders Report. That is the place to go for that story. And, of course, all your Raiders news and rumors throughout the season. Okay, let's get the chat back popping here, Tom. Shout out your favorite team. Let us know where you guys are watching from. We have gotten a couple super chats. Remember, $5. We'll talk about your favorite team, and we can keep it rolling here as we're still 2+ hours away from the trade deadline.
By the way, back to the Bean Boozle conversation. I'm pretty sure that was actually buttered popcorn.
Well, either way, it's a good one.
It's sitting in my mouth much more buttery than coconut should be. So I'm not entirely sure. It's the two same flavors. Didn't really come through that strong. So I'm going buttered popcorn instead there in the end.
Let's see what you guys are saying. We got Gamer Dude, who's a 49ers fan. Chase is a #1 fan. Nick says Cowboys. Justin, Cowboys. A top guy says Ravens. Mike's a 49ers fan. Miner says Michigan. Go Blue. James Yoder hosts our Michigan football report. Let's see. I'm seeing Buccaneers from Tristan, Cowboys right now from Richard Lee. No bandwagoning whatsoever. Tylaw says Dolphins. I think that's a team that should be selling here today, Tom. Let's see. Patriots from Robert. Fire the Cannons from Mark. We got a Bears fan from Jason. A couple more Cowboys and Dolphins. A lot of Dolphins fans in there today. They should be active as sellers today. Okay, let's catch up on some super chats. Rocky Ramirez, Henry Ruggs, yes, in a car crash. Again, we just broke that down. A source told TMZ that he's expected to be okay. Unclear on everyone else involved in the severity of any potential injuries. We will update you guys on that. Justin with the $5 super chat. Will the Cowboys trade for a left tackle with Tyron Smith's injury? Tom?
I would be pretty surprised if that was the route that they went because they have Ty Nsekhe, who wasn't great in that game.
Played a little better as time went on.
Yeah, he's definitely better in the run game than he is the passing game, I think. So I think that's an area that they are okay with because they've also got La'el Collins and Terrence Steele.
I've been meaning to ask you about this morning, by the way. Does Collins take reps at left tackle this week?
I don't see how he couldn't.
I think you
have
to.
You got to put him out there.
He played there at LSU.
Yeah, and I know he's never played it for the Cowboys and he didn't get any work this week in practice. But if you're Dallas, if you're mad at Lael Collins or whatever, get over it. Put him at left tackle or put Terrence Steele there and put Collins back right tackle. Either way, you cannot make an argument that is based in any type of credible fact that, Ty Nsekhe is actually our next best tackle. He's not.
I saw David Hellman, who covers the Cowboys, make a good point. He said, in his opinion, with the improvements Steele has made, he would leave him at right tackle and work LC at left tackle.
Sure.
More talented player. That makes sense to me. We'll see what Dallas does, and we'll see if they're active at the trade deadline. Jordan Roberts, a lot of supers coming in, so we'll try to go a little bit quicker. Carolina Panthers trade. They obviously added Gilmore a couple weeks ago. Are they active today?
Yeah, I think they're buyers. I think they should be calling around about maybe some tackle help if they can find any.
Cap space.
As difficult as it is to find good tackle help. I heard some buzz. Maybe they move on from A.J. Boye. That would make sense because they have Henderson and Gilmore. I listed them as buyers, as you can tell on screen. They might end up being more stand-patters because Carolina, they've really slowed down.
They big win last week to kind of stay afloat, but yeah, they're kind of on that fringe where they could buy, sell, or stand pat. Mm-hmm. Another one from Travis here. Talk about the Lions and try to say something positive. Man, after this last game, it's hard. Overall, I think they're playing hard for Dan Campbell. I think that's a positive. But when you get blasted 44-6 by Philadelphia, who hasn't exactly been stout, it's hard to be positive right now. I think they're going to win a game at some point, Tom, but they've started to slip the last couple of weeks.
DeAndre Swift has been really good.
Yeah.
Maybe one thing I'll mention there, and I think Penei Sewell, who has not been, I wouldn't say consistent at this point. He had a bit of a rough patch last couple of games. Just kind of gotten going.
Yeah.
He's definitely a keeper as well. We'll see exactly what they are able
Goff
to do.
is not the future, I'll tell you that.
I mean, which we all knew that, except maybe the Lions did.
You need a new quarterback and some receivers.
Maybe sell if you can. It was very strange that they never shopped they never added good receiver help this offseason. I think that's been made pretty clear.
Yeah. Daniel's next up, $5. If Watson gets dealt, what's the trade package for my Dolphins? Put something together. Downey, this more for you. All right, Tom, I'm going to walk off the set.
Bye, Harrison. Look, it's the Watson situation is so weird because how can you trade for him right now? You're dealing with a player who is facing multiple sexual misconduct accusations.
Yeah.
The alleged report here was that the Dolphins and Texans, and this is from Mike Florio and Jay Glazer, thank you for that, that they were close to getting a deal done. And then the Dolphins wanted Watson to settle to help it go through, and that led to a price increase in the trade. But we've done the whole close to being traded for literally weeks now, if not months. ESPN says Texas planning on keeping him. I don't even think it from this perspective. Yes, Deshaun Watson, ignoring the on-field stuff, is a better football player than Tua. Is Tua really the problem in Miami? Because I don't think that he is.
I don't think he's the solution.
Which is fair.
But I don't know if he's the problem. It feels very Jared Goff to me, where if you have the right pieces around him, he can work. But he's not carrying below-average talent. And I think that's what he's working with. They have a bad O-line. On paper, we thought this receiving core would be good, Tom, but Devontae Parker, I think, is kind of slowed down. Will Fuller can't stay healthy. The running backs are just okay. So I hate the play calling, by the way, as well.
Oh, I completely agree. Here's my next question for you. How much better is this current Dolphins team, if they were to get Deshaun Watson, than what the Texans were in 2020?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, do you want to go pay big assets to go get, Deshaun Watson?
Dude,
I'm not sure.
I've been consistent here. He's untradeable, in my opinion. I
agree.
I don't care what the reports are. I don't care what keeps coming out. And I trust guys like John McClain, who's covered the Texans in the NFL, the NFL for almost 50 years, and the Texans since their franchise launched in, 2000 or whatever. But I just refuse to believe he gets dealt until it happens. If it happens, okay, I'll say I was wrong. But I just don't believe it, dude. I don't think he's going to get traded. What's going to change from last week to an hour before the deadline?
Nothing.
He still has 22 sexual assault allegations against him. We'll let you guys answer. Type Y for yes, type in for no. And this question, by the way, is today. Like, could he get traded in the offseason when things clear up? Potentially, sure. But unless in the next 2 hours the lawsuits are dropped, I don't see how he gets traded. I refuse to believe it happens until that stuff gets handled, at least during the season. Maybe someone takes a chance in the offseason when you have more time, but I don't see it, man. RPZ says no. Astro says no.
The live poll, too, by the way.
Joaquin says, yeah, good call. Travis Doley says yes. Go vote on the live poll. Will Watson get traded today, yes or no? Speed says no. Ty Lau says no. Stacy says no. No one's disputing the talent, but look, man, it's 2021. You got 20-plus sexual assault allegations against you. Teams got to operate very carefully when that is the case. Okay, here. Get a couple more shout-outs here. Speed says no. Paul says no. Dusty says yes. Tom Downey burner account has another super chat here. Appreciate that. Dallas should trade for Chaz Green. That's funny. We appreciate the super chat.
Chaz Green forever triggered me. He was in the NFL last year, but he started games in the NFL for the Indianapolis Colts.
Shows how thin offensive line play
Actually,
is.
he is on the Steelers right now, by the way. He's still in the NFL.
Amazing.
As bad as he is, he's still in the NFL.
And he's very bad.
Also, just to be clear, pass.
By the way, I think we knew this yesterday, but Ian Rappaport has confirmed Russell Wilson's pen has been taken out of his hand, so could be closer to returning for Seattle. All right, Andy McKinney with the $5. Bills could use help in a few key positions. What do they target? I think they need running back, tight end, and linebacker in that order. Tom?
Yeah, we'll go in order here. Running back, they've stopped using Devin Singletary.
Moss has played a bit better this year.
Which I don't love. I think they're okay there. I mean, who are you going to get that's really an upgrade? Marlon Mack?
Yeah.
And Melvin Gordon if he's a cheap? Okay, we can have that conversation there. Tight end, I do think Dawson Knox comes back soon-ish. I know there's been some buzz around maybe a Jacob Hollister move away from Buffalo. You want to go spend money on an Evan Engram? If so, okay, cool, I guess. You know,
I'm not trading more than a fifth at this point.
Exactly. What was the other position that they mentioned? Linebacker, was that right? Corner, what was it? Linebacker. You know, Zach Cunningham is available. Now, he's expensive, not that great.
Sign Jalen Smith.
He
just got cut.
Jalen.
I think he sucks. But.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think in reality, Edmonds and Milano are who they're committed to. They're going to roll with that guy. You know, maybe try to upgrade over Levi Wallace. Does Kyle Fuller make sense for you? Buffalo is clearly a contender. I think it depends on the cost. That team has not been that super aggressive in the same way, you know,
the
Rams
running back
are.
thing for me for them is, yeah, you could upgrade, but they just don't value running backs in that system. Like I mean, last year they made the AFC title game and they had the worst rushing production, I believe, in the NFL, or second to worst. So I think Moss and Singletary, if they get back to using him, is fine. It's not the best, but it's serviceable at least. And really, you're not asking anyone to carry the ball 20 times a game in Buffalo. So I don't think spending anything even close to premium on a back makes any sense whatsoever. What does make sense is subscribe because it's free, 100% free. No one has had you guys covered on the hottest NFL trade rumors more than we have here at Chat Sports. And as moves continue to happen, we'll have you guys covered throughout the day. But it doesn't stop there. Videos all season long. Let's get to 266,000 subs today. If we don't get there, we have failed you guys, and you have failed us. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. It's 100% free, so don't miss any of our coverage. Tom, let's recap some of the trades today. A couple that went down earlier. Charles Omenihu goes to the 49ers for a future late-round pick.
Yeah, this is actually be a 2023 future late-round pick. I don't know what you think here, Harrison. I love this.
Man.
Oh, yeah. I think the Niners are getting a good football player. He's not going to be a superstar defensive end, but as a good rotation piece for you, I'm all for it. So I think for the Niners, really smart move, a buy low, multiple-year depth piece for you for a future seventh. Like, that's absolutely awesome for the San Francisco 49ers. So that was the most recent trade. I really like that one.
I'll verbally mention
we'll come back to it,
Melvin Ingram to the Chiefs for a 2022 sixth. We have an update on Henry Ruggs, and it's not good. It's a tough one, folks. So let's talk about the Ingram trade for about a minute here, Tom, and then we will update this story on Ruggs.
I love it for the Chiefs. This does fill one of their needs. Now we can maybe have a different, more in-depth conversation at some point later about the offense.
It's kind of twofold. Chris Jones can now just keep him inside. Don't play him at defensive end.
Where he belongs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he's a 3 tech, and then also we have a defensive Engram can now be opposite of Frank Clark, who actually had a sack last night.
Looked better.
So, maybe that helps. But let's be honest, Tom. The offense has to clean things up if they want to make a run at this thing. We ready to go here, Sam?
Yep.
Okay, we have update here on Henry Ruggs. I'm just going to read this statement, and then we will react. On November 2nd at approximately 3:39 a.m., the Las Vegas, I believe, Motor Police Department is what that stands for. Metro Police Department responded to a traffic collision near the intersection at South Rainbow Boulevard and South Spring Valley Parkway involving a Chevrolet Corvette and a Toyota RAV4. This is from Metro Police, by the way. This is their statement. Responding officers located the Toyota on fire. Fire department personnel responded and located a deceased victim inside the Toyota. The preliminary investigation indicates the front of the Chevy collided with the rear of the Toyota. The driver of the Chevy, identified as 22-year-old Henry Ruggs III, a.k.a. the Raiders wide receiver, remained on the scene and showed signs of impairment. He was transported to UMC Hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Ruggs will be charged with DUI resulting in death. This is an ongoing investigation. So to kind of recap this, Tom, from a legal perspective, Henry Ruggs is held liable, I assume, in a manslaughter charge. I don't know if any charges have been officially handed out here. Charged with DUI resulting in death. Very tragic. I don't know if the person has been identified who is deceased. We won't get too deep into, the on-field implications. I would assume Henry Ruggs isn't playing anytime soon, if ever again. We'll see what his future holds, but most importantly, a very tragic situation for all involved.
I feel horrible for the victim and the victim's family here, of course, and it feels like a good time to remind people that there's more than just football out there. Also, take a damn Uber, guys. It's not that hard. You are an NFL athlete. You can afford the Uber. Don't drive if you've been drinking. Pay the extra $20, $50, whatever. It's an absolutely horrible situation that was so profoundly avoidable. This didn't have to happen.
Drinking and driving is a major problem in this country.
It's just awful.
It just is, man. And this is, once again, another lesson out there. Guys, just pay the $50. Just pay the $20. If you can't afford it, call someone who can pick you up. Like, it's just not worth it, man. You're thinking, I'll be fine. And then something like this happens. It's sad. It's obviously a blow to the Raiders, Tom. We're not going to focus on the football side of it too much here, but that's obviously leaves them a little thinner at receiver. But it's just it's just not it's not good. I will say this: Mitchell Renz is going to continue to break this down as information comes in on the Raiders Report, YouTube.com/Raiders Report. We, of course, Tom, will have this covered throughout as well, but we're going to obviously have to cover trades and trade rumors that happen over the next couple of hours. But just to sum it up for now, and again, if more information comes down, we'll update you guys. It's just sad, man. And like you said, preventable, avoidable, tragic. No one should lose their life because someone else decided to drink and drive. It's unacceptable, man.
It's absolutely horrible.
It's purely unacceptable. And, it's I don't really have much else to add to it, man, because it's a sad story. Honestly, it pisses me off is what it does, and I don't want to go on a huge tangent about it because I'm very passionate about this topic, but it's not good, man. So we'll update you guys as more info comes in.
Very simple situation to avoid. It doesn't need to happen, and now someone has lost their life. Family potentially ruined here. It's just unexcusable from Henry Ruggs' perspective, and we had ran into something with Dante Stallworth. I think it was Stallworth, right?
He hit a pedestrian about 10 years ago.
Many years ago, and it's horrible for Ruggs. It's horrible for the family of the victim, and now you wonder what Ruggs is going to do in the future.
Sounds like Ruggs is okay, stabilized, no major injuries there. But just to recap, he has been charged with DUI resulting in death. So Henry Ruggs has major illegal ramifications he's going to be facing, and this was the statement from the Metro Police in Vegas. So there you go on that front. Again, Mitchell Wren's breaking it down even more on the Raiders Report. We'll try to shift back to trade coverage here. Let us know in the comments, who would you like your favorite team to trade for? We also have some super chats to catch up on. Trying to balance our emotions here with a lot going on.
Yeah.
So let us know. Get the comment section going. Who do you want your favorite team to play for? Then we'll catch up on some supers as well. And if you see some good ones come in, Tom, you can
yeah, we got plenty of supers. Someone asking who died. We don't know. Victim's name has not been released, and that typically won't happen until they're able to contact all of the
I don't think anyone in the public eye.
Yeah.
Just some, local resident, I would assume. But we will hopefully find out who that is.
Let's see. I see Allen Robinson to the Patriots. We'll try to focus in more here on the whole, football side of it. DeAndre Hopkins to the Patriots. We should have put realistic in there, huh, Harrison? That maybe would have been a little bit more of a similar type of more accurate comment there.
By the way, I do want to say this. I'm seeing a couple of questionable comments, guys. Like this comment right here. Like just think before you send. Like let's not say something stupid. This is a sad story. We're just gonna block stupid comments when it comes to the Ruggs situation. So be mindful of that because it's not something we're gonna tolerate here. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
Yeah. I see Fletcher Cox, the Chargers. I love that idea, actually. That's really good.
I do think the Chargers need to make a move.
That's from Howard.
They have fallen,
that's good.
They have fallen back the last 2 weeks, got hammered by Baltimore. The Patriots beat them at home coming off a bye week. They need to make a move, I think.
Yeah, I see L.J. Collier from Jose Medina. Not sure who that was referenced to. People asking about their team. Justin Simmons from a Broncos fan. He's already on the Broncos. You can't trade him away. You wild dog. And Jolie wants the Dolphins to trade for Watson. I see Xavier Howard to the Titans and another Fletcher Cox to Arizona as well.
Let's catch up on a couple super chats here from Tom's burner account once again. Could you see Dallas trading from Hicks for Chicago? I'll give my thoughts first here, Tom. I think the Bears should explore trading Akeem Hicks, Allen Robinson, Andy Dalton, or Nick Foles. You can't trade both, but if you can get rid of one of them for any pick, I think it makes sense. I don't think keeping both to back up Fields really makes a ton of sense, especially from a financial standpoint. But Hicks specifically, he's versatile. He can play inside. He can play some edge for you, Tom. When he's healthy, he's still damn good. Now, he gets hurt more frequently now. Groin and hammy specifically tend to flare up on him, but I think if there's one position for Dallas, it's defensive tackle.
Yeah.
If you could get a guy like Akeem Hicks for like a fourth, something like that, would you do it?
The contract worries me here, too.
He's on the last year of his deal.
$10.4 million base salary. Dallas owes around half of that unless the Bears want to get funny with it. So I wouldn't get my hopes up for an Akeem Hicks trade today.
Manuru Cole, $5. Sorry if I missed it. No hope for Mr. Mack being traded. Well, he's injured now. Look, the Bears don't seem interested in selling. Now,
well, I think he means Marlon Mack.
Oh, Marlon Mack.
Yeah.
Sorry, I read that as Mr. Mack.
Yeah, no, you're good.
No, there's certainly still a chance.
Yeah.
Now, the Titans signed Adrian Peterson, so I think that crosses him off the list. Also, the Colts probably didn't want to trade interdivision here. He has requested a trade. They have told him they will explore it for him. Does he get traded?
I think it's possible. I'm not sure it's necessarily a very likely outcome. I think the Ravens could make some sense. The Saints, I thought, were a good fit. Then they went out and added Mark Engram. I think you saw the value for a player of Max caliber, who I like, by the way. I think it's going to be a late day 3 pick.
Buffalo?
So Buffalo could make some sense, but is that really an upgrade for them? So I think that's kind of where we're at this point.
Okay. Mystic, another $5. With the loss of Winston, do the Saints frog splash from the top rope to throw their name in the Watson trade hat? No, I don't see it, man. Again, I'll reiterate, I don't believe Deshaun gets traded. And the Saints, they said they're not even interested in signing Cam Newton. So.
Yeah, which I found interesting. Well, we know how Sean Payton loves Taysom Hill. If it wasn't for the off-the-field stuff, like, hell yeah.
Deshaun was Sean Payton. Let's ride.
I mean, let's ride. I don't think you can trust, though, that situation right now. So I think because of that, the Saints probably end up passing. Now, they have no money available right now, salary cap space-wise, but no team manipulates the cap quite like New Orleans does.
Yeah.
So, possible, but I think no because of the off-the-field stuff there.
I mean, I think, would they explore a Foles or Dalton from Chicago? Financially, they'd have to move some stuff around.
Really an upgrade even?
I mean,
maybe a little bit.
I think Dalton's better than Taysom Hill.
I'd be inclined to agree, yeah.
But, is it enough to – I think Dalton could at least get you to the playoffs after a 5-2 start. It's after New Orleans. The teams are not great in the NFC. But you probably only make that trade, Tom, if you think Dalton could at least win you a playoff game. And he's never done that.
No, I'm
Probably
not really sure. I'll mention this as well. The LA Times reported that Phillip Rivers, who has not heard from the Saints, is open to returning. Now, he actually mentioned this.
That would be pretty fun.
He actually mentioned this
a couple months
in
ago.
August.
Yeah.
I'm open. I'm staying in shape. We mentioned it on our Saints channel as well. Here's the report from the Dov and also I think it's Sam Farmer of the LA Times, if I remember correctly. Phillip Rivers open to listening to the Saints about returning to the league. Hasn't heard anything though at this point.
I'll be honest, if he's in shape, that's their best option. Phil Rivers was still good last year. He wasn't great, but he took the Colts to the playoffs.
Or bring back Breeze. He already said no.
That would be amazing though. Yeah, he's done, dude. Rivers, I'll say this, Rivers is better than Breeze at this point.
Sure. I don't think Breeze, I think he agreed it was time for him to go.
Yeah, I think we saw that down the stretch last year. Should Rivers return? Y for yes, in for no. That's like the ideal fit. I will say that. A guy with a team that's contending, an offensive-minded head coach, if he's going to return, it seems like New Orleans and Sean Payton's probably about as good as he could do, right?
I'd agree, yeah. I mean, I think that's like the dream fit for Phillip Rivers, which is why he's saying it, right?
Yes.
You can go make a run.
Hey, put my name out there.
He ain't come back for the Texans, I'll tell you that much.
No, exactly. Cringe Wizard, David Dunn says no. Josh says yes. Appreciate you guys weighing in there. Justin, with Cox season now done, do the Cowboys look at linebacker? This is, of course, Jabril Cox.
Spam Cox. No.
Jalen Smith, bring him back.
I'm gonna go over there and slap you, buddy. No is the answer. First off, even the Packers, who have no linebackers, are like, yeah, we don't want him anymore. He's bad. Anyway, Jabril Cox was not really playing at linebacker in games. He was playing special teams.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have Luke Gifford and Francis Bernard probably coming back from that area. Now, if you can get like a major splash linebacker, I don't really know who that would be. Miles Jack, and you ship out LV as part of the deal. Okay, we can have that conversation, but Dallas actually still has some depth there.
I still think they should just, if they're going to add to their defense, it should either be in the secondary or at defensive tackle, in my opinion. Travis Daly again, $10, so I got to do the Bean Boozle now.
Nice.
We can remind you guys of the Super Chat menu after this one. Should the Lions trade for wide receiver? Tom?
In general, a team like the Lions is going to be a seller because they're bad. But if you can find a younger player looking for a new destination who could help you more than just this year, yeah, I would go ahead and call. Maybe N'Keal Harry, maybe a Denzel Mims if he is somehow available. I don't think Darius Slayton makes much sense.
If they're going to trade for one, it needs to be a young guy that has multiple years on his contract.
So the answer is probably not.
Yeah.
But, see what's available, right?
You never know.
You're not doing your job as an NFL team if you're not making all kinds of calls and everything from that perspective.
Exactly. Appreciate the $10 Super Chat. So we're over 1,300 people live right now. Sub if you haven't already. But for the new folks who just joined in, here's our Super Chat menu. All Super Chats get a shout-out. $5, we'll talk about your favorite team. $10 is the Bean Boozled Challenge. I put my hand in this jelly bean thing, and I either get one that tastes good or tastes like crap. We're about to see how it goes.
What are the options there?
It's either dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. $15, we'll spin the roulette wheel, which we haven't done yet. There's all kinds of challenges.
Quick note on this. Jeremy did these. I have no idea what's in here. Which is probably a bad thing for us.
And then $20, we'll take a shot and have to chase it with beer. You want to lift up that thing and just show them the roulette wheel? You can go to this full. Yeah, there you go.
Do my Vanna White.
So it's like you're in Vegas. You're spinning roulette, and we'll have to do something depending on what it lands on. All right.
I don't know what's in
I'm not looking forward to this.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, it's bad.
Oh, yeah, it's dead fish. Yeah, pound that water, Harrison. Here, you want to take a shot of something?
Oh, my God.
Because that lingers, buddy. That lingers. The taste lingers. It's a jelly bean. It gets stuck in your teeth.
Oh, my God. So
He's
bad.
going right to the fireball.
It's so bad. I'm not kidding. It's so fucking bad. Oh, my God.
LMAO. Yes.
Dude.
Does the fireball help or hurt?
It helps, but it's still bad. Oh, my God. You can laugh at me in the chat.
Type in LOL as Harrison gets reset here. From Q Crew.
Dude, I did not expect that strong of potency out of that little
shambles.
thing.
Oh, my goodness.
Dude.
Any chance we see a coach traded in the next 5 years? As Harrison is in absolute
Holy
shambles
smokes.
right now.
Wow.
I don't think so. I think you've reached the point where NFL teams, in general, except for the Rams, love their draft picks so much they're not gonna move on from one of them. And given how quickly coaches tend to leave and go, I think the answer is no there.
All right, I'm back on track. I think this
You
is
sure?
Yeah, barely. This is equivalent to $5, I think, from a meal, Swedish currency
Something like
here.
that.
Appreciate it. Kyle Fuller to the Cowboys. I'll give my thoughts first, guys. He has stunk this year. I don't know if it's a scheme problem. It shouldn't be because he played under Vic Fangio in Chicago. But, I mean, his contract is high. It would have to be for like a late day 3 pick.
And, look, I think that's fine. They did just get back Kelvin Joseph. They spent another top 100 pick on Deshaun Wright.
Anthony Brown's actually been decent.
And after the first game,
he's been decent.
Anthony Brown has been, dare I say, a good-ish corner.
He's at least been a serviceable
He
number
hasn't been the biggest issue.
No.
Now, I get you're going to get worried as you get to the playoffs with, maybe not so much Packers, but Tampa and the Rams and their great receiver depth,
Sure.
and maybe Arizona as
But
well.
is Kyle Fuller saving that?
I don't really think that he is. I think that maybe the Bears were right, Harrison. Maybe
Pace might have been right.
Maybe Kyle Fuller's not what he was.
Could be true. I mean, I said it last year. Jalen Johnson was better by the end of the season.
Oh, no, it's my turn.
2 questions from Donald. The Saints and Raiders getting a new wide receiver. So if you're just joining us, we won't recap the whole story. Henry Ruggs, involved in a major car accident, has been charged with DUI resulting in death. A terrible situation, a fatality that the Vegas Metro Police has charged Ruggs with. So this is the tweet, a couple of tweets from them. But just to recap, he is being charged with DUI resulting in death. Now, Ruggs physically seems to be fine. They checked him out at the local hospital. I don't think any major issues for him physically, but obviously the legal ramifications. Let's try and separate the two. Obviously a very, troubling, sad story, Tom, but eventually there is a football aspect of this.
Yeah.
Do you go make a move at receiver now? I mean, that Raiders franchise has already dealt with a lot this year with John Gruden. Now you have this, but you also have to balance that with there's an hour and 50 minutes until the trade deadline passes. Do you make a move?
I mean,
you have to assume he's not playing.
Do you run just more 2 tight end sets with Foster Moreau,
You
Darren
can.
Waller, if
Moreau's
he's healthy? I mean, your receivers right now are Brian Edwards, Zay Jones, Hunter Renfrow.
It's not great.
Not a great batch.
Renfro's been good, obviously, in the slot. Edwards has flashed. Zay has been okay.
I mean, I think at this point, if you're the Raiders, if of course Ruggs is guilty here, you got to operate like he might not play football again.
I mean, there's a very real chance jail time happens.
Obviously, there's more here than just the football side, but this is an NFL show, so we'll talk about the football side.
Do you go try and get Odell Beckham? Do you go try to get Allen Robinson? I mean, do you?
You kind of got to, but also there's this side too. Is your GM going to be there next year?
Well,
because if not, you don't allow him to make a trade.
Not only that, your team owner and president and potentially GM is trying to deal with this Ruggs situation on the fly on the day of the NFL trade deadline. It's not an easy situation to navigate.
All right.
It's a fair question, though.
It's Bean Boozle question.
No Darnold to the Saints. By the way, he's injured, right? I think
he has a concussion. Also, he's not good. All right. Toothpaste or berry blue? I'll tell you what. I got lucky. Let's try it.
Yeah, those are 2 good options, you son of a gun.
It's toothpaste.
Toothpaste is fine.
Yeah.
That's like
bad.
That's the worst bad flavor.
That's the best of the worst ones.
Oh, my gosh. You lucky son of a gun.
It's minty.
We're
fresh.
We're under 2 hours away from the NFL trade deadline. We've got that tracker clock throughout. Let's get to another super chat.
Tell you what,
here.
that was actually delicious.
You son of a gun. $2. Unpopular opinion, NFL needs to I agree.
that
DUIs are a problem, but I actually do feel like the NFL does take that pretty seriously. Corey with the $5. Does Dallas make any moves today? If so, what do you believe they will be? I'd love to see a DT upgrade. Real quick to go back to that one. We should all, from a legal standpoint, take DUIs more seriously too.
Yeah.
Like it's just a bad problem. So didn't want to downplay that. All right, Tom, on the Corey question, I think this is their biggest need.
Yeah, I would completely agree. I think that you are in a situation where you can upgrade DT. There are some guys I'd be calling about. Grady, Jarrett, I'd be probably my most likely gettable guy. I would call about Fletcher Coxer or Javon Hargrave because Hargrave's been great this year.
Yep.
Tough to see Philly trading him to a division rival to help them win a Super Bowl. That seems a bit unlikely. The Jets probably tell me to go F myself, but I call still about Quinnen Williams. I don't know if that goes down, but there's no harm in picking up the phone and giving a call there. I think in the end, the Cowboys really probably more stand patters today. They love to win the deal, and you don't win that many deals at the trade deadline.
Cole here with the $5 as we're just under 2 hours from the deadline. OBJ to San Francisco for Jimmy G and a mid-round pick. That's interesting. I'll say this.
I have thoughts on it.
I'll say this. I don't know why the Browns would want Jimmy Garoppolo. And he actually just played by far his best game of the year against a good Bears defense. I do like the idea of OBJ in San Francisco, but I don't think Jimmy G is involved in a trade.
Yeah, also, why are they getting worse at quarterback?
Yeah.
Like, Baker's not been great, but we've also seen the past 2 years, 3 years of those two guys.
They don't need Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo does not help them at all.
No.
Like, we know what Jimmy G is. He's not an upgrade over Baker, so
yeah.
Niners should probably do it, but I don't know why the Browns would say yes.
Today's show is sponsored by Manscaped. Tom, Manscaped has the best men's grooming products on the market, including the Lawnmower 4.0. If you guys want to get 20% off plus free shipping, go to manscaped.com/chat. That'll already have that promo code plugged in for you, which, of course, is chat. Tell us a little more about the Lawnmower 4.0.
It is the best men's grooming tool out there, folks. And I'm not saying that if I wasn't using the lawnmower that my wife would not be 19 days now away from having our first child, but I'm also not saying it.
People
either.
are talking.
Double negative, it still makes sense. You guys can save a ton on the Lawnmower 4.0. 20% off and free shipping when you head over to manscaped.com/chat. And look what producer Brett designed. Look at that.
Look at that.
Get it? It's nuts.
It's all literally. It's literally nuts.
I'll
add this too. They've got more products out there. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a part of the perfect package, which includes ball toner, ball deodorant, a travel kit as well. And they just launched their all new body wash and shampoo and conditioner products. So guys, Manscaped is up in their game. You should update your hygiene game. Go to manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off plus free shipping. Let's get you guys caught up on Odell Beckham. Obviously, he's been linked to trade rumors really beyond this season. Browns at 4-4, they're kind of on the fence. What do you do here? They've obviously had injury issues across the roster, including to Baker Mayfield. Where are we at with Beckham? Does he get moved?
There was a report from Diane Rossini earlier today that the Browns were not going to trade Odell Beckham. The offers weren't good enough for them. Here's the exact tweet, actually, from
his value's never been lower.
Yeah, Browns have no plans on trading Odell Beckham by the deadline. I was told there haven't been any offers that would make sense for the organization, which means, though, there have been offers.
Yeah.
They just haven't made sense, which I think is fairly noteworthy as it relates to Odell Beckham. And there's a lot of his dad went to YouTube and was posting videos of, hey, Odell Beckham's open. Baker's not throwing it to him. LeBron James randomly comes out and says, free OBJ. All these things added up together, it really seems like OBJ wants out of Cleveland. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Well, he's pretty much said that from the beginning without saying it. He didn't want to leave the bright lights of New York City for, let's call it a mid-tier town like Cleveland. Him and Baker Mayfield can't seem to get on the same page on the field. I don't know what their relationship is like in terms of if they get along or not, but that connection really has never been there. And I think a lot of this Beckham has to own. He's just not been the same player, healthy or not. He has not been that same guy. So I do think if you're Cleveland, even if the offers aren't great, dude, I might just trade him, man. Like,
Yeah.
Even if it's like for like a fourth, I would do it, man, because it doesn't seem like he wants to be there. He's not productive. And it seems like when he is there, the offense is actually worse because I think Baker feels the pressure sometimes to force feed him. So we'll see what happens. But Diana Rossini is saying not good enough offers coming in. Would you trade for him? OBJ for yes, no BJ for no.
My favorite way in here.
Yes.
I love it.
Let us know.
A lot of this, of course, depends on what team you're a fan of there.
Sure.
Here's one for you. If you were the Lions, would you do it?
No.
Okay.
Because he's almost 30 now.
Okay.
No.
But they have no receivers.
But, dude, no.
Okay. Just throwing it out there as an option. I see a
if it was
lot of
3
no
years
BJs
ago,
in
maybe.
there.
If it was 3 years ago, maybe.
I see a lot of no BJs in there.
Dude,
which I'm not surprised by.
His contract's big, and he hasn't been productive. So,
yeah. And I will make note as it relates to the Browns, they can be in this exact same situation in the offseason. No guaranteed money left on Odell Beckham's deal for Cleveland. They can move on if they need to in whatever form that looks like.
That's kind of why I would just take whatever trade I can get because you might just cut him. You might just cut him after this year. So we will see.
Odell Beckham for Brandin Cooks straight up. Who says no?
I don't know, actually. I think the Browns say yes. I don't know if the Texans say yes.
The Texans should say no, but I'm not really sure on that.
Well, let's talk about the Texans. Fire sale should come. They already has already begun. Mark Engram out. Charles Omenihu out. Does Brandin Cooks get traded? Does obviously they cut Whitney Merciless as well. Where are we at with Houston, Tom?
I mean, we made their status special for them. Fire sale.
Yes.
Anyone who a different team wants is available. The Texans' offseason was, let's add a bunch of back-of-the-roster veterans, which is, okay, competition, yay, whatever. And they've traded several of them already, even before this week of the NFL trade deadline. I think a variety of players are available right now. I think Phillip Lindsay could be had. I think Lonnie Johnson, the defensive back who's young, got some ability. He could be had.
It's unfortunate Tyrod Taylor's not healthy because I wonder if a team like the Saints would have interest.
That would make a lot of sense.
Because he actually played really well in Week 1, but once he went down, this team fell apart because Davis Mills, he ain't it, folks. He is not it whatsoever. These are some guys you put together, though, Tom, that could be on the move.
Yeah, this was a in terms of a trade or an ESPN report. That's what I was looking for there. Jordan Akins, the tight end. We mentioned Zach Cunningham earlier today. Those guys, I think, could be had from Houston. I don't know about Brandin Cooks. He's still pretty young, but we'll see.
I think he'd like out of there.
I think he would,
It's amazing how often he gets traded because he's very productive everywhere he plays. By the way, I didn't even think about this. Dov Kleiman had this note. Rivers could replace Breeze again. Because he replaced him with the Chargers, and he would be replacing him virtually with the Saints. That's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
That's funny.
Just wanted to throw that out there. All right,
funny.
Peter Silva has another super chat. Appreciate you guys. $5 super chats means we'll talk about your favorite team. Would the Packers trade Devontae Adams for 2 firsts? Not in the middle of the year. No chance.
Yeah, Packers won't. They can win a Super Bowl this season. They cannot do it.
Yeah, without Adams, you got no shot. All right, Funkbringer, read this one, Tom. I got to check a note from Brett here.
Hey, H. Graham, hope you had a great birthday. Everyone type in HBD in the comment section for Harrison.
Appreciate that.
That one came in yesterday, and Harrison was in late that day, and I'll be honest, I forgot. So happy birthday, Harrison.
Thank you, guys. HBD, if you want to wish me a belated. Adam Schefter reports, no Deshaun trade to the Dolphins.
Who's among us?
Who's been telling you that for all along? Us here at Chat
anyway,
Sports. That's why you subscribe.
Is there any hope for our Bears to shore up any O-line talent today?
First of all, thanks for the HBD again. Dude, here's the interesting thing, and Tom, I'd love to hear your thoughts too. Has the Bears O-line been bad at times? Yes. But Larry Borum came back last week at right tackle. He allowed 2 pressures. That's it. Facing Nick Bosa. That's really good.
How long
He's pretty good. Tevin Jenkins.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Jason Peters, Dr. Jason Peters last week said we could see him in a few weeks. We'll see. It would be nice to get him out there the final month of the year, get him some reps. I think you've hit on Borum in round 5, which is a pace special. He's great on day 3 of the draft. If you've also hit on Jenkins, you might be set at tackle, actually. And if that's the case, I will say this. You need a center. Sam Mustipher's not a starting center.
Okay.
You found that out this year. James Daniels, who's been pretty solid this year at right guard, he's a free agent after this year, so you got to make a decision on him. Whitehair's under contract at left guard. He's not great, but he's good.
Do you have your center in one of those two guys and you go get a guard?
They've tried that. They've played all three of those guys at center in the past. I don't think they want to do that for whatever. Because if it were me, I would have done that by now, but they haven't made the change. So that tells me what I've heard about James Daniels, not a vocal enough guy to be a center. Mm-hmm. And Whitehair his blocking was much more inconsistent as a center. I don't know if it's the lack of being able to also call the play, snap it, and block. I don't know. That's a real thing. But I think you need a center, but you might actually be set at tackle. And by the way, Jason Peters has actually been pretty damn good this year. Ghetto has one here. Are the Patriots trading for Allen Robinson? I'll take this one as well. I've proposed A-Rob to the Patriots for a second, Tom. I think it makes sense for both sides. I think the Patriots, you got to be thinking, hey, let's make the playoffs, man. 4-4 now. And for the Bears, I don't think they're going to re-sign them. I mean, feel free to let me know if you're going to disagree, but they've proven they're not that interested in signing them.
Contract's an issue, too, for any team. You're limited in terms of what you're able to do because he's on the franchise tag.
It's about $10 million left for this year.
And not many teams can afford that. Are the Bears going to eat money to get a draft pick back?
If it's a second, I would do it.
That's kind of what you're looking at in terms of an A-Rob trade, so I don't think he gets dealt.
If you don't trade him, you're probably going to get a 2023 third-round comp. I think you can do better, but we'll see what happens. Zevrick says, what would it take to get Jimmy G in New Orleans? Would that be viable? They don't have any money, and he costs, what, 20+ million?
Yeah, again, you're looking at two things here to make this work, because they have no money. They cannot take it as is. So you've got two options. One, the Saints restructure Jimmy G, guarantee him a bunch of money in the future, and make him your long-term quarterback. Not really what I think they want to do. Or the Niners eat a bunch of money in order to get him off the team when they clearly still think he's a good player for them.
Real quick, before we get to this next super, I want to triple down more reports. Deshaun Watson not getting traded. Ian Rappaport just said, due to the legal situation not being settled, he will remain in Houston until at least the offseason. So if you have any Deshaun questions, it's not going to happen in the next hour and a half. Travis Doyley, once again, I should say. Lions should trade for OBJ, but they should go after then Cooks for. I would like Cooks in Detroit. That is something I can get behind.
I like that a lot.
Tom. I like that a lot better than OBJ, if I'm being honest.
I would completely agree. Brandin Cooks, folks, is not nearly as old as you might think he is. He only just turned 28.
He's good.
So he's still got several years left of his, I think, peak prime ability, even though he's been traded so many times already. So I am of this mindset. It would be a bit expensive. I think you're talking maybe a second-round pick, but I'd call if I were Detroit. Maybe you can get him on the cheap.
All right, the bosses have told us that we have to turn on sub-only chat, and then I do want to provide an update or a little bit of a note regarding Henry Ruggs, so we'll get to that situation in a moment. But we've been told, Tom, sub-only chat has to go on. Don't blame the messenger.
There were sex bots in the comments again.
Blame the sex bots, blame the bosses. So what that means is you got to subscribe if you want to be involved in the live chat for what? Let's say the next 10 minutes? 10 minutes,
we'll see.
At least. We'll see what happens.
Let's see until
there.
the sex bot stops.
So we'll give some shout-outs to the folks who are still chatting because that means you're subscribed. But if your comment can't get through, all you got to do is subscribe. And by the way, it's a great benefit because we give you guys free videos every single day. Type me if you want a shout-out, and Tom can get some for you.
I see Dusty Rhodes, The Phoenix Rises, Burnin' Spades, Burger Does Sports, Ronald, Robert Bruce, Homar, Shamari Peoples, Braden, Mitty, Joshua, Ace, Clifford, Tom the Fox, great name, Deshaun, MB, Ace, Astro, Jayshawn, SME, Mark, Mulo, Ryan, Brian Yoder, UB Master, Jashawn, Funkbringer, Clout Cobain, maybe too soon, not sure, John Kim, Leo, Pasquale, Sindre, Joseph, Tyreen, JW, Ecois, Luis, Jeffrey, Eagles Gang, Tori, Rashard Lee, DeLunatic, My Burner Account, Astro, Andrew, Nico, Vocals, Luis, Mark, UB, Scott, Lil Bro, Cody, JW, Eagles Gang, Kurt, Robert Bruce, Darian, Doughboy, Tyler, Cape Cotter, Vocals, Andrew, Amis, R. Ramos, Rowe, and so many more.
All right, so let's circle back to the Henry Ruggs news. He has been charged with DUI resulting in death involved in a 2-car accident, and there was a fatality. Tragic situation. I have not seen that name be released. If we find out that information, we will pass that along. A couple more notes here, Tom. Tashawn Reed, who covers the Raiders for The Athletic, per Nevada law, a DUI resulting in death is a Class B felony. If convicted, obviously if, penalties include 2 to 20 years in prison, fines ranging from $2,000 to $5,000, 3-year driver license suspension. So those are potential ramifications
bigger than football
for this accident. Obviously, we're not focusing too much on the football side of this. The Raiders have also released a statement. I'll just read this out. Schefter tweeted it out. Here's the statement from Las Vegas. The Raiders are aware of an accident involving Henry Ruggs III that occurred this morning in Las Vegas. We are devastated by the loss of life, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the victim's family. We are in the process of gathering information and will have no further comment at this time. So about a statement you would expect in a situation like this. Obviously, there's going to be I assume a days and weeks long investigation to gather as much information as possible. But what we do know is this wreck occurred at about 3:30 in the morning early here on Tuesday in Las Vegas. 2-car wreck. I believe Ruggs was the Corvette.
Yeah.
And then the Toyota RAV4 was the other car, and there was a deceased victim found inside the Toyota. So there has been one fatality. Ruggs' injuries appear to be minor. He got checked out at the local hospital, and no real update on his physical condition other than he is stable. So that's kind of where we're at. Again, Tom and I continue to preach. This is avoidable. It's preventable. Don't drink and drive. There's better options. Please don't do it because we read too many stories like this every single day across the world. So let's make better decisions and let's be better people. All right.
That's simple.
Let's get back to football. There's a couple more updates on Watson here coming out. Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, according to Ian Rappaport, Tom, quote, received permission to speak with Deshaun Watson last night. I don't know who he's receiving permission from. He's the owner. Maybe permission from the Texans.
That's what it would have had to been.
I guess, but ultimately they determined there was not enough time to try and make a trade. Josina Anderson also just tweeted, quote, they are out. So to just reiterate, no Deshaun Watson trade. So if you guys ask about that was happening. It was a done deal. I know. It's always a done deal until it's not. Okay. All right. We've talked Deshaun. We've talked Odell Beckham. Those are kind of the two big names coming to the deadline. How about Fletcher Cox? Philadelphia 3-5, Tom. Obviously an older player. Still a good defensive tackle, though.
Yeah, reports are that teams are – I think my mic cut out.
Oh, Tom. Okay, Tom's mic cut out a little bit there. Reports are that teams have reached out to Fletcher Cox regarding a potential trade. He's obviously still a good player. A little bit older, not quite as productive in recent years as he's been, in his prime. But if you're Philadelphia, you got to decide, okay, is Fletcher Cox part of your future? You're sitting at 3-5. Maybe you can rally to try and make a playoff push, but the reality is with the Saints being 5-2 now, it's really just that 7th seed up for grabs. And Tom, we'll see if you're back in here.
I think I am.
All right, he's back.
There we go.
I think if I'm Philly, I'm open to making trades, and we will see what they do.
I think Philly is a team that could be a good seller. Fletcher Cox is very affordable this year. It's like barely $1 million, if that. I think a new team would own him. Did you get a third for him? He's not peak anymore. Not. So I don't know. I think what I'd heard was, I think it was Ian Rappaport who mentioned this, teams are offering a mid to late round pick. Eagles wanted a high pick, which I interpret as they wanted a day 2 pick. Teams are offering a day 3 pick.
Yeah.
That feels about what I would be offering and what I would be asking for.
Sure.
Somebody's got to give. Now, Cox is under contract for one more season. So they don't have to make a trade right now. And I don't think he's quite at his peak anymore.
Sure.
But I would be calling, if I were a team like, if I were the Chargers in particular, I'd be working the phone lines hard for him or for maybe even Javon Hargrave, who I think has been better than Fletcher Cox this year. Because that's what the Chargers meant. They're missing that big, impactful defensive tackle.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll see what happens with Philadelphia and with Fletcher Cox in particular. Name a player you want your team to trade for as what are we, about an hour and a half away from the deadline passing? Right at an hour and a half. All right. Let us know, who do you want your favorite team to trade for? Sub-only chat is still activated, so if you want to be a part of today's live show, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. But if names come in here, Tom, feel free to shout them out.
I see Mike Jones typing in. I see Burden Spades wants Fletcher Cox to the Falcons for a 3rd and a 4th and a 7th. A 3rd or a 4th and a 7th. But should the Falcons be buyers? I'm not sure.
I don't think so, personally.
I see OBJ to the Packers. People trolling about Chaz Green. Quinn Williams to Dallas. Ohio Wish. Xavier Howard to the Titans. Packers get Brandin Cooks. I love that deal. Akeem Hicks to the Cowboys. Fletcher Cox to the Cowboys. Brandin Cooks to New England. Allen Robinson to the Steelers. Interesting.
Look, if you can get a second for A-Rob, do it.
Bengals for Jason Kelsey.
No, we haven't.
Or Kyle Fuller to Dallas. Cowboys trade for Marcus May for Gallup and a 3rd. Thanks, I hate it. Evan Engram to the Titans. That one actually could be a bit intriguing there.
I like this super chat. That's a good question, Tom, and we can each kind of give our thoughts. If you were a potential head coach candidate next year, what job would be the most appealing? So let's first kind of identify what jobs could be available. So Chicago's the number one that comes to mind, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If Cincinnati fumbles and misses the playoffs, I think that could change things for Zach Taylor. Losing to the Jets is a slight step back there. I got to pull up the standings here.
Yeah, I got to pull up. Dolphins job maybe comes open.
Maybe. I kind of think they're going to give Flores another year, but
Texans and Jags jobs could potentially be open.
I think they'll give Urban another year. If they didn't fire him after that incident.
Giants job could be open.
I think Giants and Bears are like the two that really scream out to me.
Could the Seahawks job be open?
Maybe.
I don't think the Lions job comes open. I think hit the nail on the head, though. I think the Bears are probably the most intriguing one because I think you have your quarterback already.
The opportunity to work with Fields, and that roster's aging a bit, but there's talent there. Like, I think the right head coach could get the Bears to the playoffs. I really do.
I agree.
I mean,
even this year, potentially.
This year, I think the right coach could have gotten this team to the playoffs, and they're just not well coached. Now, I do like their young DC, Sean Desai, although they had a bad performance against San Francisco, albeit without Khalil Mack. But you need an identity on offense. They don't have an identity on offense, and that's coaching. Like, that is a coaching issue. So I think the Bears is appealing. If you could convince Russell Wilson to stay in Seattle and that job opens up, that's obviously a very appealing job because I think Russ has at least 5 good years left. I don't think the Giants is that appealing, although they do have 2 first-round picks. They'll have their own and the Bears, so that's nice. But is Gettleman still around? I think he'd probably get fired too if Judge got fired. So I think those are the only ones for now, Tom. If Cincinnati somehow opened up, that might be the most appealing with Joe Burrow. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Would you rather take the Bengals or Bears job if they both became open? Bears obviously is a better franchise, but Joe Burrow is obviously.
I am very confident in Joe Burrow being a franchise quarterback.
Yes.
I feel good about the direction that Justin Fields is going.
Still a little early.
I think he might have maybe more upside, but it is a bit early.
Yeah. All right, Joe. Appreciate the super here. Smith back to Dallas. Saw that no injury guarantee. Wait, is he saying that it happened? Oh, he's saying it should happen.
No, it should not.
And it should not. I agree.
The Packers don't have good linebackers.
And they cut him.
And they cut him. This is 2 contenders who said, yeah, we don't want Jalen Smith anymore.
Yeah, he's done. His best chance is to go. Like, honestly, Texans keep fire selling, and he latches on there. Like, he needs to play for a young team that's not contending because contenders don't have use for him right now. Here's our Super Chat menu. All Super Chats get shout-outs. $5 Super Chats, we'll talk about your favorite team. $10, we will do the Bean Boozle Challenge, which means we have jelly beans here, and half of them taste good and half of them don't. So you guys can find out if I'm going to almost throw up again, just like I did earlier, or if Tom is going to get another good tasting one because I've had the short end of the stick today. $15, we'll spin the roulette wheel, and then $20. We'll take a shot and chase it with beer, which we haven't done that yet.
And we got the roulette wheel. No one's done the roulette wheel
yet. I know,
yet.
man.
It's disappointing.
It's disappointing.
Spin.
Shout out your favorite team. Tom and I are going to close our eyes for the next 10 seconds.
Yep.
And the first one we see, we're going to talk about. So shout out your favorite team. We'll let the comments come in. My eyes are shut. I'm going to count down from 10, and then, Tom, the first team you see, that's who we're talking about. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. Sub-only chat is still on, so if you want to get your teams in there, subscribe. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tom, who are we talking about?
Packers.
All right.
Corey Ellison, first one in.
All right, let's talk about the Packers.
I almost missed the entire chat. I barely got it in there. it was one of the more recent ones.
All right, what's going on with Green Bay? Obviously, they're in a win now mode.
There have been some whispers of tight end being a target given Robert Tonyan's injury. Evan Engram, I think I saw a report that the Giants were going to stand pat with him, which is stupid.
I would like
he's
Engram
not
in Green Bay.
Being used. I would trade for Engram or at least look into it if I were the Packers.
Yeah.
Some whispers of other tight ends who could be on the block. Hayden Hurst has been mentioned. Jacob Hollister hasn't really been playing this year. That's very much a short-term option.
It won't happen, but
with the Jags,
interdivision. But I would love Allen Robinson with Aaron Rodgers.
I would be calling about
OBJ.
Yeah, I would be.
Get him for a fourth? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Packers certainly trying to win it all this year because we don't know the future of Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams in Green Bay.
No, we do not.
We will see. The trades that have occurred, and it's been about a couple of hours for both of these. Charles Omenihu lands in San Francisco for a future late-round pick, I believe 2023.
Yes,
on that one. So I think that's a steal, dude. He's got, I won't say untapped potential, but underutilized ability. I think that's definitely the case.
It's weird for me. If you're Houston, in general, you should be selling veterans and older players.
But for nothing?
But trading away a young guy who's cheap and has shown some flashes for a future 2023 third rounder or late rounder?
Probably like a sixth. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. It could be anything. It could even be, that pick could even be a nice rotational piece on your defensive line.
Yeah. Who knows?
There you go.
Chiefs made a trade earlier. Melvin Ingram from Pittsburgh for a sixth. I broke this down on the Chiefs Report, youtube.com/ChiefsTV for you Chiefs fans. I kind of gave it a meh. I don't. It's not. You're not giving up a ton, but I don't think you should just be like, oh, this team's fixed now. Like
it helps though.
It gives you depth. I think it kind of keeps Chris Jones inside, which is what should have been the case all along. So that's good. He does have 18 pressures this year, according to PFF. That's actually pretty solid.
Yeah, Ingram, he's not prime Ingram anymore.
No.
I think he's still able to get some pressure.
He's not finishing a lot, but
this could be a situation where because you're right, he's not finishing very much.
1 sack on 18 pressures.
And he had 0, I think, last year, but had a bunch of pressures too. This could be a situation where you're able to get pressure, and it ends up being finished off by a Chris Jones or a Frank Clark. And that's still valuable.
And that's great because the Chiefs are second to last in the NFL in sacks with only 11 through 8 games. So they had to get pass rush out.
Steelers are going to give more run now to Taco Charlton, who's been promoted to their active roster. Former Chiefs great.
He's always back. Former Chiefs great. Cowboys, Dolphins. He just keeps landing around. Von Miller, this was probably the biggest trade yet.
It was wild.
This happened on Monday. Second and a third. Is that proper value? Is that an overpay?
It is.
2 day, 2 picks?
It is an overpay, but the reason why there's so much more going to Denver is the Broncos ate pretty much all of the remaining salary for Von Miller.
And the Rams don't care about draft picks.
And the Rams don't give a shit about draft picks. You're right. So I think if it had just been Von Miller and his contract, a fourth or maybe somewhere in that range.
I was thinking maybe just a third.
Maybe just a third. I think that could be about because they ate quite a bit of money, and I think that's why Denver did this deal. Is okay, whatever you ate $8 million, whatever in salary, $9 million, cool. We got 2 top 100 picks to help rebuild. Now, if Denver wants to be a winner this year, they got to keep selling. Yeah. You can't just trade away Von Miller. That's stupid. You got to sell Kyle Fuller. Kareem Jackson,
Bryce
Tim Patrick,
Callahan, maybe.
Other guys who aren't going to be with you next year. Sell right now. And frankly, embrace the tank as Vic Fangio will not be happy about it, but he can deal with it.
Yeah, let us know who won the trade. I'll add this as well, Tom. You got to respect the Rams I won't say carelessness, but just YOLO mindset of we're going to try to win the Super Bowl every year until we win one. If I'm a fan of that team, I love that. Probably in 6 or 7 years, you're going to be awful because of it. But I mean, shoot, man, if you're trying to win the Super Bowl every year, I'm on board with that if I'm a Rams fan.
Let's get to Joshua's super chat before we hit the next part, by the way. But I see a lot of LARs coming in there.
I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, I mean, I look, the Rams have adopted the all-in mindset, and I, for one, just absolutely love it. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. Appreciate Sarah Cunningham for the $5. Just a verbal shout-out there. Joshua, $10. Ah, fuck.
Oh, your turn.
Cheers, guys. What do you think the Seahawks will trade into whom? You can take
well, part of this actually just came across the news here is that L.J. Collier, according to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, is not going to be dealt, which I find interesting. Oh, wait, what were your two flavor options, Harrison?
Oh, God. Rotten egg or buttered popcorn?
What is it?
It's going to go one or two ways. I don't know.
I'm
tried
pretty
to smell.
sure I had the buttered popcorn. Let me see what it looks like. Uh-oh. I think that's going to be rotten egg.
Dude, don't do that to me.
No.
All right, real quick, LJ Collier.
He sounds like he's not going to be dealt, which
that's a decision.
I actually interpret as there haven't been many, if any, offers.
Yeah.
Because
he's
been inactive, he's been a disappointment. Maybe you play him late in the year, you try to rebound that trade value.
Here we go.
He'll be a trade target in Canada, I think, in the offseason if
God.
he does not get dealt. Oh, yeah, rotten egg. You're right there? Here, Jack Daniels. Oh, buddy Harrison. Oh, rotten egg.
I'm getting.
Is there a trash can over there? Harrison's going right to the fireball, by the way. He is in shambles here. Oh, look, Collier's been a bust. There's no way around it for Seattle.
Give me a Coke, please.
And beer. Let's get some beers.
Dude, these are the worst things I've ever.
Let's go and get Harrison back on screen here as well.
I'm good.
Oh, man, you're in shambles, buddy. Yeah, I'm next, baby.
I'm getting the short. God, it's just lingering.
I'm 2 for 2.
Oh, Pepsi. That's fine, too.
There you go. That's pretty great. Yeah, put some beers here. Thank you.
We'll take it. I will say this, watching Collier at TCU, he should not have been a first-round pick.
No, he shouldn't have.
He should have been a day 2 pick, but
I think that's where I had him. He was 2019 draft class?
He went 29 overall. I thought he should have gone in like the 50s, but him and Banigou went backwards, personally.
See, you and I are on the same page, and I don't think you were working here at that time.
No, I was.
It
was like right when I first started.
2018?
Banigou is a much better college player. He's kind of a tweener, but so was Collier. He's not an edge. He's not a D-tack.
Yeah, I had Banigou 65, who also, by the way, has been linked in some trade rumors. He hasn't been great either. I had Collier 74 on my board, a third-round grade.
Yeah, so, you know.
A rare dub
classic
for me.
Seahawks first-round pick. All right, Robert Smith, Kyle Fuller to the Ravens. Secondary needs help.
This makes some sense.
I'm down. Let's
ride. I mean, I think if you're the Ravens, we've been playing a lot of Anthony Averett, which is, look, he is who he is. He's not someone you want as your number 2 corner. This is probably a tier below the Anthony Browns of the world. I would see what the asking price is. I don't think it's much right now. Denver might got to eat some salary as well in order to trade Fuller because I think his value is very much at an all-time low.
A couple of comments here, especially one from Smokey. Someone says, still catching up at Ruggs charged with DUI and someone died.
Yeah.
Yes, it's tragic news. We've been cycling through that news every 10 or 15 minutes. Mitchell Renz has been breaking it down on the Raiders Report, youtube.com/Raiders Report. But just to kind of hyperspeed recap it, we won't do, the full breakdown like we have a couple of times. He got into a car accident at about 3:30 in the morning in Vegas, and he has been charged with DUI resulting in death. Someone in the other car passed away due to the drinking and driving. So it's just
very, very avoidable
not good, man.
Situation. Of course, there's more than just the football side of it. I know this is chat sports, but it can't not mention the more important
the human side comes first here.
The human life that was lost, the impact that's going to have on families and friends everywhere. It's just an absolutely horrible situation. Of course, thoughts and prayers with the family out there and the victim and his family and friends or her family. I don't know what the situation is there. It's something so simple that could have been avoided. You're an NFL athlete, man. Just pay the $30, whatever. Most teams provide services.
Side note, he got checked out at the hospital. He appears to be fine physically, but he's obviously facing major legal ramifications. And don't want to speculate, but I would say pretty comfortably that he will not play at least for the rest of this year. We'll see after that. Mark says, Great job today, guys. Appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're still on sub-only chat, correct? Riding sub-only chat, so if your messages aren't coming across, all you got to do is subscribe. Let's see. Do the Vikings make any moves today? If so, for which positions? Tom, what's going on with Minnesota?
Definitely not quarterback. They're stuck with Cousins. They're not going to move him at all. Maybe corner. That's always an area that Minnesota loves. I know teams have called about Cameron Dantzler. I don't think they should trade him. I think he's better than Bashaud Breeland. Daniil Hunter's out for the year. They could target an edge rusher. Some of the guys who have been linked in trade rumors. Obviously, Melvin Engram is now gone.
By the way, we should have mentioned Minnesota as a potential job opening.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Losing that game to Dallas. I'm not saying Zimmer's a bad coach, but it kind of feels like his time has run out there. That's an inexcusable loss. At home to Cooper Rush. I think that job is probably going to open up unless they make the playoffs.
It is telling, and I'm not sure if it's more telling of the quarterback or the coaching staff, that the Cowboys and Kellen Moore trusted Cooper Rush more than Minnesota trusted Kirk Cousins.
If you can't trust your quarterback,
and I think that's actually a coaching staff
issue. You're in a bad
so, yeah, edges, maybe Derek Barnett is expensive, Manuel Ogba, Killevon Chasen, Cleveland Ferrell from our early first-round picks could be had, maybe. I'd be calling about those guys.
Here's an interesting one, Tua to the Saints. I think with Deshaun Watson, if you're just joining us, with him not being traded, that's been confirmed. He will not get moved. I don't think Tua gets dealt.
Yeah,
play him the rest of the year.
That would make no sense.
Play him the rest of the year. Give him every opportunity to show you that he can be the guy. And then this offseason, you have more time to feel everything out. Is Tua the guy? Can we revisit Deshaun? Can we draft someone, which at 1 and 6, you're probably going to be in a spot where you're going to be in the top 5 or 10 at worst, depending on what happens here, Tom. So they'll have options this offseason, but play Tua the rest of the year. Give him every opportunity to be this team's starting quarterback. All right, Jake with a $5. Will the Ravens make trades? Jack, sorry. Lonnie Johnson be a good fit? So another corner question here.
It's a funny name. Will the Ravens make any trades today? Would Lonnie Johnson be a good fit? The issue here for Johnson is who I do think is available, because Houston makes no sense as an organization. He has been playing safety, and I don't think safety's really the area that the Ravens should be going after. I know Lonnie played plenty of corner in his first year at Kentucky. He's been a safety the past 2 years. Does making a position switch trade fit Baltimore? I don't think so. It's a good name because I think he's available, but I don't think he ends up being on the block in the end as a fit for the Ravens.
Ravens fans, youtube.com/RavensTV. Just crossed, 2,000 subs?
Yes, sir.
It's one of our fastest growing channels right now, so if you want more videos on the Ravens, go subscribe over there. Also subscribe here, because Chat Sports, we're trying to get to 266,000 subs today. Let's get this number updated. We're on sub-only chat. We're just over 200 away.
Nice.
265,801. We're now less than 200 away. Come on, let's get a sub push right now. Can we get to 266? Let's do it.
If we get it, I will do a shot right now.
All right, I'll do too. We'll both do a pool of liquor here, and Sam will join us with the shot.
I got my shot.
How about this? 1 minute. Let's get to 266. 1 minute. So when the clock, how about a minute 20? When the clock says 1:10 zeros, we'll see where we're at. If we get to 266 by then, we will all take shots here at Chat Sports, and we'll give some shout-outs here for typing me, because if you're typing me, that means you have subscribed, because we're on sub-only chat.
I see It's Lee YouTube, Tristan, JP on Sports, Premium Choice Express, Andrew Pinkerton, a.k.a. Chicago, Jeremy Wilson, K, Dino Nuggets, what a great name, Mark, John, Cameron, Chase, Allen, Dusty, Sterling, Kinjay, Mark, Troy, a.k.a. Shamari, Nick, Joy Lee, Dan with 2 N's, John, Mark, it's your boy, Steph Curry's watching, TJ, Belusik, if I think I got that wrong, Mason, Joylo, Isaac, Cringe, Robert, Andy, Noah, Brandon, Oscar, Steph Curry, and Mr. Black, 68123.
I see we're about 160 away, so we're getting closer. Clock's ticking. Can we get to 266? I think we can. We got enough people watching. It's up to you guys,
20 seconds.
Come on, clock's ticking.
I don't mind getting hammered. That's fine with me.
3 days in a row for your boy here. I took about 30 shots over the weekend during some watch parties.
You did.
I'm ready
You're
ready
pretty
to
tipsy
go.
that day.
All right, I'm going to refresh one more time. Actually, 2 more times. The clock winding down here. We're 152 away. Not going to quite get there here, but we'll continue to update. I'll tell you what. Whenever we get to 266, I'll take a shot anyway because I'm a man of the people. But let's get there. Let's get there. You got to earn it, though. You got to get to 266. We did get a $10 super chat.
Oh, goody. It's my turn. We also got a $2 super chat as well. Yeah, it's a $2 first.
$2 super chat first. AJ Dillon to the Titans. Packers don't use them. They actually have been using them.
They have been a lot.
Because Aaron Jones is banged up, so they've kind of been splitting time the last few weeks. And they drafted him in the second round last year. They're not going to trade him.
Yeah, which we can have a different conversation there if we want to. But yeah,
but
Aaron
they made
Jones
the pick,
been playing.
So.
Not Aaron Jones. Dillon's been playing plenty for them.
And he's actually been solid. I don't think it was a good pick, but at least he's been somewhat productive.
It's a good name to try to go out and acquire. That's fine. But I mean, I'm looking at the snap counts right now for AJ Dillon. He's played over 20 in all but half the games this year. He played 29 against Arizona.
He's a clear number 2 back that gets touches. So Travis Doyley, and then we got another 10, which means great. I'm going to get a bad flavor again. Can we get this other?
Yeah, Travis Doyley here. Can you guys? Oh, you just went over it. All right, we'll get the $10 on screen here. There we go. Harrison, I'll crack it open here.
Can you guys give a shout out to the YouTube channel, Micro Mike? Hey, Micro's our boy. Of course we can. Micro Mike does our Lions coverage. I don't know what the link is. It youtube.com/Lions today? Is it youtube.com/Lions today?
I'm not sure what it is.
Is that the link?
I can't remember.
We'll try and get that to you, but he does a great job. He has some of the best post-game reactions you'll ever see. Take my word on that. He's called the Lions cheeks all year. So go check him out.
This
all right, Tom.
sure looks like buttered popcorn or rotten egg. Maybe you had spoiled milk.
Dude,
whatever
it was
next.
awful.
I'm not feeling great about this one here, boys and girls. Let's crack it open.
Oh, God.
That's buttered popcorn.
Dude!
I'm on fire, baby!
Come on!
That one was coconut.
I keep getting screwed.
I will say, though, it's not good.
But it's not up bad.
Buttered popcorn chewy is not a good combo. But
dude, I almost have vomited twice now.
That's right.
About to be 3 times.
All right.
Rico, cheers, guys. Shout out Cowboys Nation. Since Tom didn't want Micah Parsons, ended up being a stud. I think Tom should take the rotten egg jelly bean.
I'll do a shot for you, though.
I watch every day. Appreciate the
support.
Thanks,
Rico.
Hey. Let's be honest. Micah Parsons is better
really
than
good.
any of us thought he would be.
He's been really good.
So, kudos to him for that.
He's been a lot better as an edge rusher I thought he was going to be, too.
All right, this one is either dirty dishwasher or birthday cake.
Ooh, good or...
Please get me birthday cake. It was my birthday yesterday.
What does dirty dishwasher taste like?
I don't know. Maybe it's not as bad as the other ones. God, I'm nervous. I got to get this Pepsi opened. Jesus.
See how it is. Not much of a reaction so far, which means is it dirty dishwasher then? It's just blah.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Because it's not good, but it's not nearly as bad as the other ones. I think it's dirty dishwasher.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Which I guess has somewhat of a refreshing. I don't know.
It just tastes kind of soapy, maybe.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
It's like honestly, it's like old soap.
Okay, okay, so that checks out.
It's not good. Let me make that clear.
Sense.
It's not good.
Well,
but
I owe a shot.
It's
Cheers.
the best one I've had yet. Cheers to Tom.
Woo. All right.
Okay.
There we go.
Shout out your favorite team. We're going to do this again. Sub-only chat is off, so anybody can be involved. We'll do the same thing as earlier, Tom. We'll close our eyes. We'll count down from 10. And then first team Tom sees is who we'll talk about.
Risky move because I've had no food today.
10,
shot.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tom, who are we talking about?
Oh, I got to refresh. Shoot, it froze.
I saw a team.
3, 2, 1. Okay, who was
I saw Bears, actually.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about the Bears a little bit here. I'll tell you what I would do, and I'll tell you what I think is going to happen, as we're just over an hour away from the deadline. That taste was lingering, so it's actually
it was lingering?
Okay. Pretty bad.
Okay.
But not as bad as the others still.
Fair.
Obviously, they added Jakeem Grant. He's been a good returner, whatever. Borderline play. I think losing to San Francisco drops him down a tier. I guess you never know. Here's what I would do. I would trade Allen Robinson, unless the offers are just bad.
Which they could be, given the contract.
He hadn't been good this year. I would trade Akeem Hicks if you can get a fourth or better. He's a free agent after this year. He's over 30. I think there's a real chance you don't bring him back. And you actually could still bring him back even if you trade him because he's a rental. You could still re-sign him. And then I would at least see if someone's willing to blow me away for Khalil Mack. If someone gave me either multiple firsts or a first.
That's what Andrew says in the comments.
Or like a first and a second and a third or something like that, I have to consider it because my team, it's all about building around Justin Fields in the future. And not having a first-round pick isn't the most ideal. It really isn't. You're going to have to get another receiver next year, Tom, because I don't think A-Rob will be back in Chicago unless the market's just awful and he's like, well, I guess I'll re-sign.
We saw what Kenny Galladay got after a bad year. I think Rob
A-Rob at
similar.
worst would get like 15 a year. And like, I don't know if the Bears are going to pay that, dude. So if you could get a first-round pick and more for Mack, I'd hate to do it because I love Khalil Mack, and he's having a really good year despite being injured. But if someone blows you away, dude, like that's something you have to consider. Other guys, if someone wants a veteran safety, Tashawn Gibson, I think DeAndre Houston-Carson's played better. Now, Eddie Jackson just pulled his hammy, so maybe that throws a wrench into things.
Yeah.
Robert Quinn, his value will never be higher.
Sell high on an aging edge.
His value will never be higher. Nick Foles, Andy Dalton, if anyone wants them for any picks, let's do it.
I like that.
And then one more, I don't think anyone wants them, and the Bears made a mistake by keeping them, but even if you could get a conditional 7th for Jimmy Graham, ship him out.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's kind of it. That's kind of it, though.
Yeah,
and
Graham was interesting.
I would not buy unless it's a young – like, I will say this. I would trade for Brandin Cooks.
I like that idea.
I would potentially do that because
that's
a long-term play.
Yeah.
But I'm not buying for anything that's just for this year. Like, if you buy a rental, you're stupid if you're Chicago. So that's where I'm at with the Bears. Manscaped is sponsoring today's show.
Yes.
Tom and I are repping the shirts. These shirts are so comfortable, too. You can also get really comfortable boxers from Manscaped.
Those are the best boxers that I own.
They're unbelievable with the perfect package, which, of course, the Lawnmower 4.0 is a part of. Get 20% off the best men's grooming products out there at manscaped.com/chat. I used to hate shaving downstairs, Tom. I tried a bunch of different razors, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this razor burn, this pull, this tug. I'm done with it. Manscaped reached out and was like, give our product a chance, and it's changed my life. I mean, it's awesome. My wife's a big fan of it. It's a product I use
heard
on
she was getting ready to leave you for Mitch.
Hey, well, people are talking. That may or may not be true, but either way, Manscaped has been a game changer for our sexual encounters. I will say that. But also, Tom, the perfect package, you get so much more in that as well.
Oh, it's incredible. You get the Lawnmower 4.0. As Harrison mentioned, the most comfortable boxers known to man, plus some extra goodies to help you keep it fresh and clean and smooth and smelling nicely down there, because the last thing anybody wants is when things get hot and heavy is, oh, that doesn't smell great.
Ball toner, ball deodorant.
Yeah, it's a good deal, guys.
And one more thing, they just came out with shampoo conditioner combination and body wash. So, guys, the holidays are almost here. Perfect gift. If you want to get your dad hooked up with some new men's grooming products, or for any ladies watching, it's a great gift for your significant other.
Look at that little fun thing at the
Get
bottom.
going with Manscaped. Yeah, look at that thing.
That's fun.
Shout out producer Brett on that one. Manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off and free shipping. Okay, we got about a minute before we're at the hour mark. Let's get to a super here. Oh, this is a roulette wheel. Should we wait until after the hour mark to spin it?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it there.
We're going to go live on a couple of other channels, our Cowboys Report and our Chicago Bears Now channel here in a minute. So we're going to wait to spin the roulette wheel silence. We'll come back to this super chat when we do that, and then we will spin the wheel silence. I appreciate it. Give us about 90 seconds, and then we will do that.
We'll do it.
All right. Almost an hour away. Who's excited for the trade deadline? Come on. I need some trades to happen in my life. Type me in the chat. This is when it heats up. A potential couple of moves could go down in the last couple of minutes. So type me if you're fired up, and Tom will get some shout-outs.
Yeah, and I also mentioned this. Earlier we asked you guys over under 4.5 trades. It is exactly 50% right now. I'll go rapid fire here. Clay, Cowboy Zach, Charlie, MB, Robert, Charlie, Mark, Josh, Roe, Brody, Ghetto, Charlie, Alejandro, Kenya, Colin, Dino Nuggets, DJ, Cody, Mark, The Analyzer, King Bam, Cameron, Brandon, Alejandro, excuse me, Ezra's Art, Brody, Moose, Charlie, Andrew, Cruz, King, Delines, Moose, Brian. There's a lot of L's in there. Ethan, Ian, John, Mark, OG P-Stone, DJ Grabber, Jose Medina, Moose, Baseball, Brandon, DJ Zoller, Ethan, John, Charlie, Luis, Drew, Andy, Christopher, and Myron.
We are live here for 2021 NFL trade deadline coverage. I am Harrison Graham. He is Tom Downey. We are presented by Manscaped. We're live on Chat Sports. We're also live on Chicago Bears Now and the Dallas Cowboys Report. So Bears fans, Cowboys fans, be interactive in the comments. If you want a super chat, we'll get those on screen as well. But shout out to Manscaped, Tom, the best men's grooming products out there. Get 20% off plus free shipping. Tom and I are both major big fans of their products, and it's a game changer. Trust me on that. Perfect holiday gifts now that we are into the month of November. Manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off plus free shipping. Tom, we are just under an hour away. So you guys, let's get the live chat going. Name a player you want your favorite team to trade for, and here we go. This is when things could heat up a bit.
I'm a bit surprised after the Von Miller trade, after the earlier trade involving Melvin Ingram and Charles Omenihu, that has been
Nothing's happened.
Very quiet so far. Just reports of this player's not getting
We
traded.
know this. No Deshaun Watson trade. That is not happening. It doesn't sound like OBJ is getting traded. We'll see if that changes. But for now, we're kind of in a holding pattern.
I'll throw in a preface here. Well, maybe it's a post word. No, keep it realistic. I just saw someone say Tom Brady. No.
Guys, Tom Brady's not getting traded.
Let's do that. Like, come on.
Hey, we'll take your comments, but at the end of the day, it's just not very likely whatsoever. I'm going to open up in a separate browser, Tom, the Bears chat. So if you want to do it for the Cowboys as well for some shout-outs, we can certainly try to appease those folks as well.
Good call, Harrison.
Get a couple of shout-outs in the main chat, though. OBJ to the Patriots, wouldn't mind it. Kyle Fuller, Brandin Cooks. Thoughts on Marlon Mack and Tyson Williams, so you could team
Tyson's a good name. I think teams have called the Ravens about him, but I'm not sure that this is going to be a player the Ravens end up trading away. But I think that's a good name to mention.
I'm seeing in the Bears chat, yes, the Henry Ruggs story. If you're just joining us, he has been charged with DUI resulting in death. So major felony. He is facing legal ramifications. Someone did pass away, and he has been charged with the result of that death. So not a good situation for him. Someone says trade A-Rob to the Raiders with Ruggs out. I mean, if you're the Raiders, you got to be at least somewhat exploring a receiver, right?
I mean, I think you kind of have to be at this point.
It's obviously a tricky timing, of course.
Yeah, it's a very unique and strange situation just because you don't know exactly what the future is for Henry Ruggs. That makes it tricky. You might not have your GM there next year who's going to make your trade. So there's a lot of moving pieces involved here for the Raiders. So they might just kind of go, oh shit, let's just wait.
All right, we promised silence. We would get back to this super chat. Spin the wheel. I've never seen you do this before. We'll also show the super chat menu again for our Cowboys and Bears audience while Tom spins here. All super chats get a shout out. $5 super chats mean we'll talk about your favorite team.
Black,
$10 super chats, Bean Boozled, which basically is we got a box of jelly beans and we have to eat them. It's either a really good tasting one or a really bad tasting one. I've almost thrown up 3 times. Tom has been celebrating because he's gotten all the good ones. $15, we just spin the roulette wheel. Then $20, we'll take a shot. We both have liquor ready, and we'll chase it with beer. So there you go. All right, Tom, what happened on that
roulette wheel spin? Be honest. Rate your wife's cooking.
Oh.
We can both answer this. Do you want to go first or second, Harrison?
I'm not saying this to hype up my wife. 10 out of 10.
Okay.
And people in this office can't attest to that.
Okay, yeah. Look, my wife's a great cook as well. Now, I'm giving her maybe an 8.5, a 9 out of 10, because she has issues not cooking for 4. She always cooks for 4 people because that's what she grew up with.
That's a problem with my wife's dad, who she learned to cook from. He is one of the best cooks I've ever. His food is incredible. The problem is he either can feed enough for the entire block, or it's not enough food for the people who are at the house for dinner. Like, he's literally made ribs for 20 people before when there's 6 of us. He's also made ribs for 2 people when there's 6 of us. So he's got portion control challenges, and that's hard, man. It's hard to know how much food you need.
all of her like recipes are based on 4 people, so that's how it ends up running
leftovers.
Issues. Yeah, but then she doesn't want leftovers the next night, and now we have all these leftovers and never get eaten. Just
brutal.
So that's why it's not a 10.
But no,
she's not watching. It's fine.
My wife is
nobody snitch.
Excellent cook. She knows. All right, Super Yoshi here. Seahawks should trade Chris Carson. What are you going to get for him?
Yeah, I mean, the back and the neck issues are very
it's a problem. If he was healthy, I'd love him in Tennessee.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
I would have loved that.
I think with the injury stuff, though, it kind of ruins it for Carson in Seattle.
Let's go to Joe here. Speculation on Ridley. I don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's focusing on his mental health. And, look, it's hard to play a full contact sport when you have mental health challenges. So
I mean, I think this is a situation where
very Ricky Williams-esque to me. Remember that?
Yeah.
He couldn't. He was like, look, man, I can't focus to the level I need to, so I'm going to step away.
I think this is definitely a situation where you got to just let him work through all of his issues and support him in the process.
Yeah, he's the one who needs to tell us what's going on, not us speculating. $10 super chat on Joseph. Thoughts on what and how to fix the Jags? You just got to be patient, number one. Right?
Hire a better coach?
I do think
Urban's not it.
Urban's not
I'm sorry.
The guy. No. I said when they hired him, this is not going to work.
I don't trust their front office either.
No.
Going with the failed Niners guy?
Also,
Come on.
Darren Bevel as the OC. Oh, yeah, this is a Bean one. You're up.
I'm
Thank
up.
God.
Oh, no.
You're due for a bad one.
I am due for a bad one.
You are due for a dud.
We've also got some supers that came in on Cowboys.
Let's talk a little more on the Jags.
Yeah.
Just continue. You got to draft well. Keep drafting well. You're going to have
So you said that you got
Dirty
dishwasher. So I can't really tell by the color. And this is either birthday cake or this is going to be stinky socks or tutti frutti. I think it's going to be the birthday cake one, but cheers.
All right, let's see. Shout out to that Manscaped little graphic below, by the way. Best men's grooming.
Ooh, that's not good.
What is it?
It's either stinky socks or dirty dishwasher.
Those are both bad.
Yeah.
Those are both bad.
It's not good, and it's lingering. Yeah.
Yeah, chug some something.
Mm.
All right, Mark is next up here. We'll go a little quick here. Aloha, Tom. What realistic trade would you do? Real quick.
Can I get – this is a Cowboys super chat. Can I get Grady Jarrett from the Falcons for a 4th or a 5th? Is that realistic, Harrison?
I don't know. Grady Jarrett's pretty good, man. 5th? I think 3rd or 4th. Okay. Joshua's next up here. Is this from
Maine?
This
is Cowboys as well.
Oh, this is also Cowboys. Gallup to the Raiders for who?
I would need a good defensive piece. I'm not trading away a really good receiver.
Not just for a pick?
Just for picks. I'm a contender. I don't want to trade away good players right now.
I hear you, man.
Unless I get good stuff back.
Obviously, if you're just joining us or if you don't know the full scope of what's going on with Henry Ruggs, he has been charged with DUI resulting in death, was in a car accident at about 3:45 in the morning, early this morning. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries, but there was a fatality, which is very tragic. It's still an evolving story, but not that we're going to assume, but Henry Ruggs' playing future is very much in doubt. I think that's safe to say, at least for this year. Prayers go out to the victim and their family. Not sure if it's a male or female. I don't know if we've identified that, but not a good situation. I'll continue to preach it. Drinking and driving is a bad epidemic across the world, especially in the U.S. Just don't do it, man. I mean, some innocent person should not die because Henry Ruggs decided to drive at 3:30 in the morning, which my mom always taught me nothing good happens that late at night, and look what happened. So it's unfortunate. It's tragic. I have no sympathy for Henry Ruggs, if I'm being completely blunt, and now he has to live with that decision. So that's kind of where we're at with that situation. Obviously, football-wise, Tom, if you're the Raiders, you might need a receiver.
Got to operate like you're just not going to have Ruggs maybe ever again.
At least for this year. I mean, I think that's a minimum.
It's just a complete disaster for of course the family involved. There's nothing good coming out of this. There's
more
no way around
for the
that.
Raiders too. They already had the Gruden drama. I mean, if this team does something real this year, it's going to be quite the story. Joseph James.
Which we actually got to earlier. That was what we had earlier.
Thank God.
You're in the clear. You're in the clear.
Thank God. I thought I was going to have to do another.
Now, when we come back to Cowboys, you're not going to be in the clear.
Unbelievable. I don't know. I feel like you should have to do the Cowboys ones, and I should have to do the Bears ones. Just throwing it out there. But we'll stick to our current theme.
I think it should be reversed.
Information
you do the Cowboys. I do the Bears.
I don't think that's fair. Information about the Pats. It is a $5 super. What do you think about New England? I would love for them to go get Allen Robinson.
Feels like that would be fun. It feels like they're just kind of stand pat more than anything.
Mac Jones keeps improving.
Like they traded away Stephon Gilmore. They beat the Chargers. I think they're going to be in that borderline wild card race when it's all said and done. I think kind of around 500.
I'd love to give him a receiver to work with.
Yeah, I would too. They've spent some money there.
Brandin Cooks.
Also, let's be honest. They don't evaluate receivers very well.
No.
They haven't done it in a long time. So if you want to bring back Cooks, okay.
That's why I trade for a proven one.
Mohamed Sanu happened.
He was he was washed by then.
For a second.
Although he's kind of back with the Niners. Who knows?
We'll see.
All right, Mark says in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, TV. Oh, he's just
he's shouting out where he's watching from.
We got a $2 super on Bears. We'll try and get to that one as well.
Got supers on all the channels right now.
Live on Cowboys Report, live on Chat Sports, live on Chicago Bears Now. Stick with us. Dante Fowler for a 5th. What do you think?
Well, Fowler's on IR with a knee injury. So probably not. He got placed on that after week 5, before week 6. So I think your value is probably about right. I just think the injury makes it a complete no-go.
Okay. Let's see. Jason.
This is a Cowboys super chat.
What's new on the Diggs injury?
He's fine. I think this was a situation where he could have come back in the game had it not been over because it happened on the final second to last play, one of those two.
2 games in a row where a key player on the last play of the game was dinged up.
He was making a tackle and helped keep him in bounds in the end, and he kind of like slammed his ankle into the shin of somebody. The Cowboys have not been concerned. He left the stadium with no boot, no limp, so
maybe just a little stinger or something.
Stinger's maybe going to describe it. The ankle's been a bit of a bothersome thing for Diggs this year, but I wouldn't be concerned.
All right.
Now remember, $10 super. We can get to the super chat menu here in a second too there, Sam. It's our Bean Boozle game, which means you got to take one of those like fake beans or jelly beans, good or bad.
This is spoiled milk or coconut.
So I think I had coconut, but I wasn't sure because it didn't taste right.
Don't do this to me, man. I've had such bad luck today.
You've been getting boned every time.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's bad. Yes. Poor Harrison.
God, no, don't
take him off. Leave him up there. It's funnier.
I'm not soft. Don't take me off.
Oh, my God.
Read this for us. Jesus
goodness.
Christ, dude.
All right, the super chat menu here today, folks. $1 will give you guys a shout out. $5 we'll talk about your team, whatever it is, more in depth.
God.
$10 is the Bean Boozled game as Harrison's taking the brunt right there.
I'm literally in shambles.
I know you are, buddy.
It's so bad.
All right, 15, we will spin our roulette wheel and see what happens. I'm next man up. $20, it's shot and a beer chaser. Maybe we should flip the Bean Boozled and roulette spin if you need to, Harrison.
I'm getting, dude, this one's lingering.
I know. Was it the spoiled milk?
Dude, yes.
That's the danger with these. It lingers, and it lingers bad. Intern Jeremy, who did this all for us today, said there's some dangerous things involved here. I don't know what's in here. Apparently, it's not good for us.
Should we go roulette? Let's go roulette spin for 10. Let's flip 10 and 15.
Okay.
I want to get more spins going because we've done a lot of Bean Boozled. Let's flip that.
We'll flip that around.
Let's go
That's
roulette
fair.
10, Bean Boozled 15.
That's fair.
Mostly for my sanity. All right, Timothy here.
Yeah.
Any defensive players the Cowboys should pursue? Any and all defensive tackles?
Yeah, I'm looking at DT. I feel okay about corner. Now, if you can get like an Xavier Howard, okay. I'm at this point for Dallas. It's kind of a go big or a go home. You don't need depth, really.
Yeah.
What you need is maybe a big impact splash player. Now, they were allegedly in the mix on Von Miller, although I'll make note that report came from Peter Schrager, who's tight with Sean McVay, so just keep that in mind when addressing it. I doubt they offer anything close to what the Rams ended up doing.
I do want to add this. Ian Rappaport about 10 minutes ago. Barring something unexpected, Marlon Mack not expected to get traded.
That is, to me, there wasn't really any interest in him.
Which, maybe he gets cut then after the trade.
Yeah, and this comes to Frank Reich, said that he there were no serious conversations about a move, and Mack actually practiced today for the Colts. So, again, these kind of backup but solid caliber backs don't have a lot of money or don't have a lot of value.
No.
Like they don't go for a lot. I mean, Jordan Howard's a starter, and he went for a very late round pick.
It's the classic why trade for Marlon Mack when I can just sign Adrian Peterson.
Exactly.
It's
now, I'd rather have Mack, but one of them is free,
exactly.
relatively speaking.
Exactly. TJ Gallup for Vita Vea. Well, first of all, the Bucs are like, F you, because we have 6 receivers, and Vita Vea is much better than Gallup, although Gallup's a good player.
Yeah, you aren't really offering enough for the Bucs.
Vita Vea might be my favorite player in the NFL.
I love him.
Dude.
We stand Vita Vea here.
He's 360 pounds, and he runs like
He's a
power
baller.
forward. The guy is a freak. He's unbelievable. Let's see. Speculate. Okay, we'll speculate. A couple more supers on Bears that we'll get to as well. What do you think about not trading Michael Gallup?
Only way it makes sense is if you get a valuable pick back. Or not a pick, a player back. Because you don't need picks right now. You're a contender. If you get a good defensive piece, okay, let's have that conversation.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you want him as your vertical threat. So you're not going to give him away in the end.
We flipped the super chat menu, and they did 15. Are you kidding me? At least it's Tom this time, but unbelievable.
We can make it the roulette wheel spin.
King Shadow, realistic expectations when Gallimore, Tank, and Gallup all get back. Tom?
I think that Gallimore will be a good high-end rotation piece for your defensive line. DeMarcus Lawrence, I have pretty high expectations for being, if not your number 1, your number 2 trade piece in the end.
Yeah.
Or edge rusher piece, because you need help outside of Randy Gregory, who's been great this year. And Gallup becomes Michael Gallup. So I think that the rotation is, on pass rushing downs, Gallimore, Osa, Tank, and Gregory.
Yep.
That's pretty damn good front 4, and you can still blitz guys like Parsons as well. So I think you've got a lot of good ability there.
James Taylor, 20-piece. This is a shot and a chase, so first shot and chase today.
All right, let's do it.
How about them Cowboys? Cheers. There you go. Cowboys Nation rolling that. We're going to take a shot and chase it. I'm going to need a beer
I got
to
one.
chase.
I got one.
You got one for me, too?
Yeah, I got one here.
Oh, okay. Matthew Lane with the super. This is from Bears. Khalil Mack to Buffalo. Rumors trade. Or such a bad take. I haven't seen the Buffalo.
I love that idea for Buffalo.
I love it for Buffalo. Look, Bears fans.
Bring him home.
I'm not actively trying to trade Khalil Mack. But if I can get a first and more, he's 30. You got to at least be willing to listen if you're Ryan Pace. Big Hutch, safe to assume that the vehicular homicide will end. Look.
About Henry Ruggs.
Let's let the investigation play out. We'll say this. He obviously made a bad decision. He's going to have to live with that. And quite frankly, I have no sympathy for him, assuming the facts are what they are, that he was the cause. But we're not the police. We're not the lawyers. We're here to report the facts. And the facts are that he's been charged with DUI resulting in death, and someone died, which is tragic. I don't think, if you had to ask me today, do you think he'll play again? I'd guess no, but who knows? Weirder things have happened, I suppose. Braden with the super, just a $1. Appreciate that.
Thanks,
as well. We'll get to all super chats, everyday barbecue and cooking as well. This one's from the Cowboys Report. Thanks for the 5-piece. We just talked about the Cowboys, so we're caught up there. Ice King Virgil, should the Bucs trade for a few solid DBs or safeties for their injured defensive backfield?
Makes
and who
sense.
would they target?
Can you shop Ronald Jones to get a player back? Probably not, but I would look into it. I think secondary, given how hurt they are,
I think Pierre
does make
Desir's
a lot of
actually
sense.
been a decent little pickup by them. He played good against the Bears. He played pretty good against the Bears a couple weeks ago. Connor Hurd, what areas should the Patriots be buying at? I think receiver and maybe a corner after trading Gilmore. Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Kyle Fuller.
They got some injuries there. This strikes me as a stand pat off or deadline for the Patriots, but I think if they can get a receiver, a good one, go do it, especially when it helps you out long term. I think that makes a lot of sense there in the end.
We'll do this shot and chase once we're caught up on Super Chat. Stay with us. The Analyzer, thoughts on Engram to the Chiefs for day 2 picks.
Analyzer, I know you're still watching. Did you want the roulette wheel, or did you want the Bean Boozled thing since it was
I think he wanted the roulette
15?
Wheel.
I'll give him a chance to respond here in the live chat, just because I want to make sure you're getting what you paid for, my friend.
Yeah. That works.
What about the Engram trade? What do you think?
I gave it a C. I think it could become a B type of trade. He's past his prime, but the Chiefs needed a pass rusher, and he's actually been getting pressure this year. He just doesn't finish a lot of plays. I value finishing plays a little more than other people do, but he's good-ish, and that's better than most of the Chiefs' edge rushers. So I think it's a passing grade. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know if anyone clearly won the trade. Time will tell. A 6th-round pick isn't super valuable for a team like Kansas City. They're trying to win now. So
exactly.
I think it's
and Engram clearly won it out too.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Super Yoshi says, talk about the Seahawks. All right.
They're not going to trade away L.J. Collier, apparently, which I find quite interesting. I don't think there was that much interest there. This seems like it's going to be a stand-pat deadline for Seattle. They're kind of in a holding pattern overall until Russ gets back, trying to survive. They're not out of the wild card race. They can make that.
Beating Jacksonville kept them afloat a bit. They're 3-5. Can you get to 500 when Wilson comes back? If you can make a push for that 7th seed. So we'll see.
Let's do our shot and chaser here.
All right,
let's
do it.
Yeah. Cheers. Appreciate it, guys. Bottoms up.
Back to college, baby.
Here we go.
Back to college. All right, Robbie Zoso, $10.
I should have eaten.
This is a roulette
This
spin.
is definitely a spin I've not yet seen from the analyzer, so.
Push. Joseph.
That's a bad spin.
So 2 roulette spins. Appreciate it,
right.
Joseph. Let's go to Robbie here. So we have 2 spins. Arizona Cardinals trade for or trade away. I don't think they'll be trading anyone away, right,
That's
Tom? Red. Arizona?
Unless they can get a good defensive piece back, probably not.
Okay. Obviously lost J.J. Watt. Not expected to return this year, but maybe he makes it back for the playoff run. I think they've kind of already made their move. They got Zach Ertz, who has already had an impact. So,
all right,
there you go.
First one is you guys share this video on your Facebook and Instagram. So go do that right now. Help us out. We've got 38 minutes to go, and I'll do another spin here.
By the way, comp update for Charles Omenihu, 2023 6th. So I still love that trade for San Francisco.
That's red again. All right.
You like that trade, 2023
Oh, I love
6th?
it. It's awesome.
For Omenihu.
All right. Harrison, you have to do your best Mitchell Renz 365 impression.
All right. Give me a sec here. Raider Nation, what's going on? Mitchell Renz here from the Raiders Report. On today's show, we got a 6-pack of rumors, so let's go ahead and tap on into them.
Is
that good?
You left out one thing. You're supposed to just
Mitch.
like one thing.
It's been an emotional day for this guy.
Yeah, one thing you're supposed to do also is just like randomly drift off screen.
Yeah.
Just like
what's going on? Mitchell Renz here for the Raiders Report. Yeah, 6-pack of
Raiders!
Raiders! First down, type your words. Yeah, or him.
Tyree Giuseppe, the pick here by the Raiders.
Yeah. So my bosses are telling me that y'all want another 8 or 10 minutes on the pick out of Missouri, Tyree Gillespie, with the #1 pick in the 5th round of the NFL draft. Out of Missouri, Tyree Gillespie. There you go.
I gave that one to you because I knew you do a really good job there.
All right, that's a good one.
All right, I got some more supers here.
Yeah.
There's no trade rumors right now.
We still have one more roulette wheel and then another shot. Let's get the fireball flowing.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's right.
I should have eaten breakfast today. I didn't.
I haven't eaten either, so
right.
Let's get
roulette wheel spin. Travis says cheers to Russell Wilson in his recovery. That's black. Oh, sorry. Dink.
You're good. I already did mine. We're good. Oh, another shot.
And one more.
Let's keep it flowing.
All right.
I'll read this one while you pour. I meant to say top 3 realistic trades for the Ravens. 3. That's kind of tough. How about Allen Robinson is 1? Kyle Fuller's 2. You got a third one, Tom?
We mentioned Robinson, Fuller, Andre Dillard?
Cooks? Dillard?
Ooh, Morgan Moses.
Is he available?
Maybe, but I would go do it, or at least try to.
All right. Have we done this shot yet? Did you already do the...
I've not done my second one here.
Yeah, we have a second one here. Oh, man. It's getting a little...
Yeah, it's getting a little...
It's about that time.
It's getting a lot of shots, a lot of beer chugs, and I have not had any food today. Oh,
yeah.
well, we'll be fine. There we go.
You just got to rally. You got to put that rally cap on. Woo. There's no doubt about it. All right, make sure you guys subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. We're trying to get to 266,000 subs. If you're watching on the Cowboys Report or on Bears Now, go subscribe over there. Just hit that sub button. But also, Chat Sports is kind of our overall NFL hub for all 32 teams, not just specific teams whatsoever. So help us get to 266K. We almost got 2,000 people watching live. So I think we can get to 266,000. We're 120 away. Can we get there before the trade deadline passes in 35 minutes? Yeah. I think we can. So help us get there. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Also subscribe to Bears and Cowboys if you're watching on those channels.
Now, we do have another roulette wheel spin.
I got to do my other shot.
You can do your other shot. Sam, do you want to be involved in this at all? You have the option to be. So do you, Harrison.
I have the option to be.
Yeah.
I feel like I should.
Do you want to do it?
That's not a good thing. That usually means that...
It's not that bad.
I'll do it.
All right. It is sing the first 30 seconds of Don't Stop Believin'.
All right, Sam, you're first.
Well, I think we all do it together.
Oh, okay.
And we try really hard to harmonize it.
Let me pull
and
up the...
I'm just going to apologize in advance because I can't sing for shit, and my wife reminds me that all the time.
I actually kind of can. Let's see. Let me pull up the lyrics here.
You need the lyrics?
I know how it starts.
All right.
Wait, we're doing the chorus or like?
It says the first 30 seconds.
How long does that last? Does that include the piano?
I could not tell you.
Okay, so I think it goes through. The last line is it goes on and on and on and on. That's where we end.
I think that's fair.
Because that's like two chunks.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is what you subscribe for.
Right.
People who can't sing.
3, 2, 1.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy. Born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
That seems fair.
A singer in a smoky room. The smell of wine and cheap perfume. No one wants that.
For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on.
All right.
There we go.
That's right.
Not terrible, I don't think, but definitely should not quit either. So
yeah, we'll clip that off and people will laugh at us. All right, let's get the chat going. How about this? Who's going to win MVP? I think this is pretty interesting. So
Murray, Allen?
So Derrick Henry out of the hunt.
Let's also be honest. He was never going to win.
Probably not, but I wanted to hope that he had a chance. I think there's about 5 guys right now, Tom. I think it's a combination of Dak Prescott, Tom Brady, who maybe has taken a little step back. I still think Kyler's in there despite a baddish week. I think Aaron Rodgers might be slowly creeping back in. And Matthew Stafford, right?
I'm gonna.
Stafford's getting slept on.
Yeah. I'm also gonna make the live poll grade the singing real quick. A.
I like it.
B. C. D or F.
That'll be an easy way to get a bunch of Fs in.
He's probably gonna win. So.
Who's your MVP if the season ends today?
Murray. Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Stafford. It's one of those two. It's also way too early, as we learned last year with Russell Wilson.
It feels a little more open midway through the year than it normally is. So
yeah, I think this is not going to be one that gets settled in the very near future, by the way.
Dak may have gotten a prong for him without playing.
Yeah,
although Cooper Rush played fine,
won.
But they would have won that game by 3 touchdowns.
It would have been a blowout. It wouldn't have been close. Yeah.
I agree.
By the way, we do have plenty of super chats on Cowboys we can get to here in a little bit too. I'll give some shout-outs here as there are a lot of Fs in the comments, which is,
I'm seeing Dak. I'm seeing, let's see, Xavier. Oh, Howard to the Titans.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, Dak. I'm seeing a lot of time. Mike White for MVP. Oh, my goodness. What a time to be alive. DJ says
Don't
Dak.
fall for the cheese on Mike White.
Derek Carr. Guys, he was fine. But let's see if he can do it again. All right, we got a bunch of supers to catch up on.
Yeah, we'll go rapid fire
on all 3 of the channels, so we'll do that. This is from Cowboys. Will Marshall, if you were a DC, how would you stop Dallas? Point blank, we have too many weapons. I don't think you can stop them, Tom.
Hope to limit.
I would give up plays between the 20s and hope to clamp down on the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably trying to get turnovers, as challenging as that is. I think you've seen teams adopt the right strategy. dare them to run the football. Take away the big explosive play, and they'll take it, but it's a lot harder to sustain long drives on the ground
time again,
than it is through the air. So I think that's how you try to stop them. It just hasn't worked yet.
Chris here, real quick. Tom, how do you feel about giving up a second?
Hell no.
No. You can't give up.
Absolutely not.
Honestly, with the way Cooper Rush played,
you don't do it at all.
I don't think you make a trade for a guy who's making
Look, if we were talking like a 5th-round pick, which you were going to get back for Dalton, sure. But a 2nd or 3rd, absolutely not.
Duncan, Quinn, a realistic target for a defensive tackle.
Robert Quinn?
Quinn's not a DT.
Yeah, he's not.
He's like 250 pounds. He's been great this year, though, and he played well in Dallas a couple of years ago, Tom.
Yeah.
So, appreciate the $1 from Quaylen. Tony Grenade, hope gone for Cowboys trade. From what Jerry said.
Jerry said they weren't going to be involved. It was always a long shot. They were, I think,
will say Jerry's always playing coy, so
yes, he is.
Take it with a grain of salt, but clock is ticking. Thoughts on Dorrance Armstrong?
Is what he is, guys.
Okay, rotation.
He's a depth rotation piece.
Quaylen, when is D-Law return, and what difference will he
make? It could be as soon as the Atlanta game. Is kind of what the buzz has been out there. Yeah, not this week, but next week. I think he's going to make a big difference because Armstrong compared to Basham or Lawrence compared to Armstrong and Basham, big-time upgrade.
No doubt. King Shadow, call the record companies.
To ban us from ever singing again.
Oh, I was like, what is this?
I assume that was what that was about.
Yeah, I think so. No doubt.
Yeah.
Boss fan Matt, will Amari Cooper miss time with a hammy? Will it be a game-to-game issue going forward?
Look, he'll probably linger. That's how soft issues tend to go.
He's never 100%, but he's always productive.
That's exactly right, Harrison. I have nothing to add there.
All right, Colleen Scott, not NFL related. This is from Chicago Bears Now. Appreciate it. Not NFL related, but how about them Bulls? Bulls are good, man. People laughed at the DeMar DeRozan signing, but he's been very good, and Lonzo has as well. They are going to miss Patrick Williams, especially come playoff time. Michael, this is also from Bears. Will Fields be a Bear in 2024? That would be his 4th year. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Barring
something real wrong otherwise.
Major injury or off-field something pops up or he's just that bad, which I think he's already shown enough that he won't be that bad. He will be here in 24.
All right, roulette wheel spin.
Travis Doyley, so Tom's spinning the roulette wheel. Matthew Stafford MVP, talk about the Lions. I do agree Stafford should be in the top 5. Lions, look, try and get more draft picks. Try and position yourself for the future as best as you can, not only today but moving forward. All right, Tom.
I'm gonna make. Should we make? I think we should make Jeff do this. It says a shot out of Cooperstein's cup. Now Jeremy did this. Do you even have a cup today, Jeff? All right, we're doing a shot out of that. So what's in there? Jeff, come on up here. Come on up here. Again, this is the Super Chat menu.
Jeff, you got to take a shot out of that cup.
What?
So empty it out.
What is in that cup? Coffee. Oh, shit.
So you can't wash it out. You just pour it out, and then you take a shot out of it.
All right, there you go, Jeff.
That's the deal.
I don't know if that was the rule or not,
I'll
but we set it up that way.
I ain't doing it. Math.
I hate coffee, by the way.
All right,
let's go to Joseph Super, then we'll go full screen here in a second.
No Lamar Jackson for MVP. I think he's a secondary candidate. Obviously, a setback game against Cincinnati, Tom, but he's been very good, obviously.
Yeah, he's going to always be in that reality. He's always going to be like in that. He is one of the most valuable players in the NFL. Yeah. But the way the MVP works is you have to exceed expectations. I don't think Lamar's done that, especially having already won before. That's why there aren't that many repeat MVP guys.
Like LeBron in the NBA.
Like Aaron Rodgers, you get rid of him, that Packers team sucks. Get rid of Dak, get rid of Allen, get rid of Murray. All those quarterbacks, they're super valuable.
Yep.
But I think LeBron in the NBA is right. It's just you have to exceed your own expectations. Lamar's been great, but not compared to Allen or Murray in terms of expectations.
Super Yoshi, trade Jesse Bates for a first and an A-OK player.
Right value, but the Bengals should just pay him and bring him back.
Yeah,
so
I think they also want to win this year.
And they're contenders, so I think the Bengals stand out.
All right, one more, then Coop's coming up here. Is Arizona not going to get a trade today? I think they might just be done. They already got Zach Ertz. They might just hang out. All right, Coop.
Come on up.
Pour this shot in here.
Fireball or Jack? We have both.
It's Coop Cup. Fireball? Coop Cup time.
Little Fireball coffee combo right there.
All right.
You guys can see how tall Harrison is now, too.
Good combo. All right.
All right. That's not bad.
All right.
Look, Jeremy did all of these roulette wheel spins. I had no idea that was even in there.
Hey.
The only one I know for sure that's in there is somebody's getting punched.
Let's get
that's
the
$10
supers flowing. That's all I'm saying.
Got some Cowboy supers as well. I got a $20 super.
A lot of residue on that shot. All right, let's talk a little Manscaped here because Tom and I are repping the shirts, and here's the deal: Manscaped is the best men's grooming products here on the Chat Sports because it's the best men's grooming products on the planet. Manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off plus free shipping. And Tom, I know you've been a supporter of Manscaped for a couple of years now.
I mean, it's the best men's grooming product out there.
They've changed the game.
Look, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but my wife's not watching, so it's fine. I'm not sure if she would be 8.5 months pregnant right now if it wasn't for Manscaped.
That's what I heard.
I can't disprove it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were one and done, baby. So
it's science.
20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/chat. I'll put that link in the live comments for you. It's in the description as well. There is no better men's grooming tool than the Lawnmower 4.0. Go try it out. Manscaped.com/chat. Get the free shipping and the 20% off. It'll help your success off the field.
All right, let's get to some of the trades that have happened. It's been very quiet for about 3 hours now. Von Miller was the big one yesterday, Tom, for a second and third round pick.
I like it for the Rams from an aggressive standpoint. They are an all-in program or team. They don't give a crap about draft picks. So it's expensive for what I think will really end up being half a season of Von Miller. It's Von Miller. I get that. The Broncos ate most of the salary. I think that's why it made sense for Denver. Great value for the Broncos. Rams are all in. I can't complain too much.
All right. Let's see. What's the next trade here? Melvin Engram for a 6th-round pick in 2023.
I love it for the Chiefs. Look, I know that team is maybe not that great, but I think it does lend some intrigue from that perspective. I think it's a good move by Casey.
It's a passable trade. You needed pass rushers. I like it. I don't love it, but hey, it's something. Charles Omenihu, this has been confirmed. It's now a 6th-round pick in 2023.
Oh, we got another trade. We'll get to it in a second. Omenihu, I love this.
Oh, another Chiefs one. Let's ride. Woo! All right. So Charles Omenihu for a 6th in 2023. This is kind of interesting. I don't know anything about this play. I'll just verbally mention this one. Tom Pelissero has it. Dan Brown, tight end, to the Chiefs for Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, who's best known as being a doctor, opted out last year to fight the COVID battle in Canada, came back this year. He's been a backup guard for Kansas City. I thought there might be a chance he gets traded, and he has now been flipped over to New York.
I have some theories on this, but I want to make sure that my processing is correct here. We'll get to it momentarily. In the end, we are one away, by the way, from the over-under hitting.
Hey, we're almost there.
We'll get to this more in depth here. The Chiefs, I'm not surprised that LDT gets dealt, though.
No. This feels like a salary shed to me.
Yeah.
He was making about, I think, like $5 million or something like that, and he wasn't starting. So I think that's good for Kansas City. Dan Brown, I'm just looking him up. He's his career numbers are 44 catches for 420 yards and 2 touchdowns over 81 career games.
I have the answer here for you. Daniel Brown has 2 catches of the past 2 years he's barely played.
Yeah.
This is a blocking tight end.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
I think more than anything, it's a salary dump. That's true. That's what it is. Doesn't sound like any picks are involved.
Chiefs made 2 trades today. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. LDT leaving Kansas City.
Love this for the Jets, by the way.
Fan favorite, by the way. Being a doctor. Cool
the doctor
story.
himself.
But Kansas City didn't really need him. They've got Kyle Long, who's been on the pop. They could activate him at any time. So they're good to go at guard.
Right. I'll be honest, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Kyle Long's just hanging out.
It's kind of crazy.
So
yeah, I mean,
they have a ton of depth at guard.
Brown had a decent year with the Bears in 2017. That was probably his career year. This really does kind of mention. This really does feel like a salary dump. And I think blocking tight end too. But we got some more receivers to get to. We'll come back to this LDT Jets Chiefs trade momentarily. $20 from Dwayne Johnson, with Kellen Moore being the hottest, or Jackson, thank you. A lot of shots. Hottest potential coach prospect. The Cowboys can't keep him. With the upcoming vacancy in the year, would you use, or where could you see Kellen Moore end up at? Harrison wants him on the Bears.
He's my top guy in Chicago.
Look, Jerry's pocketbook going to come open there.
You got to pay him like a head coach, even if he's not your head coach. Jerry,
find a way to keep him.
That's what you got to do. You say, hey, you're the head coach in waiting.
Look, there's a lot of $2 supers I want to shout out rapid fire here. Joe Furtado, AP or McNichols, pick up AP. Kalen Campbell will come to make a different season. Maybe. Chris Thomas, what prediction? Cowboys versus Bucks for NFC. We hope. Corey. Gal be back for Broncos versus Cowboys. I think so. Tony Grande, could you man Quinn Williams with our defense? I would love Quinnen. Don't get your hopes up. Andres Castro, just $2 blank there. Mark says Gallup to New England for a number 2. You mean second-round pick? I think you keep him right now. Plus, I don't think he's worth a second-round pick. I think that ends up being a no. Family First says, will the Cowboys trade for Fuller? Probably not. And also, he's not better right now than Anthony Brown. And Brennan Johnson, I see your super. We'll get to that more in depth in a little bit.
I got a couple of just quick shout-outs. Michael says, we already read that one. Larry Lapper said, reminding you that you said fire Ted and promote Pace. I said, if you want to keep Pace, I think he'd be a better option as team president than Ted Phillips.
He was a money guy with the Saints, right?
Yeah, and Pace actually knows football. He hasn't always made the best decisions. Phillips isn't a football guy. As your team president, that's kind of bizarre. But I'd rather have a fresh GM being the final voice in all football decisions. But I think Pace has done some good things, and I wouldn't mind if he stayed in the organization. He just can't be the primary GM. That was my point. Shout out your favorite team. Let us know who you're repping in the comments.
I'll give some shout-outs here.
And we're going to talk more about this LDT trade coming up. So
and I'll verbally mention Travis Miller's super chat while your guys' comments come in here because we're getting tight up against the deadline, folks. Thoughts on AP? Could he start soon? Probably. That wouldn't be a surprise result in the end. I could see a situation where he gets the early down work and McNichols is your third down back. So, I'd go after AP. Rapid fire, Chiefs, Patriots, Raiders, Cowboys, Chiefs, Raiders, Cowboys, Seahawks, Patriots, Raiders, Broncos, Patriots, Eagles, Saints, Seahawks, drop my pen, Patriots, Bears, Cowboys, Chiefs, Eagles, Seahawks, Patriots, Lions, Seahawks, Chiefs, Dolphins. A lot of Seahawks in there. Interesting. Vikings, Rams, Jets, Rams, Eagles, Patriots, Vikings, Chiefs, Titans, Vikings, Ravens, Eagles, Cowboys, Rams, Browns, Eagles, Lions, Panthers, Browns, Finns, Giants, Washington, Rams, Chiefs, Jets, Lions, Titans, Raiders, Cardinals, Cowboys, Rams, Seahawks, Raiders, Patriots, Cowboys, Browns. I got to stop.
I got a couple of shout-outs on Bears. Woo! Obviously, a lot of Bears in here. I'm seeing oh my God, Skylar, that's a ridiculous. Someone says trade A-Rob for Xavier Howard, swap picks maybe as well. I mean, I don't hate it, but
the Dolphins would have to move Parker.
Yeah, and I also want draft capital if I'm Chicago. That's what I want. I mean, I want a first-round pick if I can get one. You were probably not going to get one for A-Rob, but if you can get a first-round pick in this next draft and get a key player, whether it's a center or a receiver for Justin Fields.
Package picks, maybe.
Let's ride, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for. We're 17 minutes and counting away from the NFL trade deadline passing. We'll see if there's a couple of moves that come before the buzzer here. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif just got traded to the Jets, and we'll break that one down momentarily. I'm seeing another Chiefs. A Rams is in there as well. Falcons. A couple of Rams fans in the chat as
Titans in there. Yeah, some Rams. Interesting.
Okay. Bird Gang from Chris.
I'll shout out Elon Musk as well here real quick. Trade Patrick Mahomes for Jackson Mahomes. Thoughts, Harrison?
My thoughts are that Mahomes' family has always been a distraction. This isn't really new, but now it's being talked about because the Chiefs are struggling.
Yeah. So what's going to in a moment here, we'll talk more in depth about this Chiefs-Jets trade.
Yep.
We'll let Harrison dive in since he's pretty familiar with the Chiefs.
We'll go back and forth, but I'll give my main thoughts, and Tom can chime in as well. If you want to just play host to this, Tom,
no doubt.
That certainly will be fine.
Breaking NFL trade news in what has been a fairly quiet trade deadline. The Chiefs made another one. Woo. But first, today's show is powered by our friends over at Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/. We're rocking their shirts. I'll tell you more about them here in just a little bit. But Harrison, the Chiefs did another trade. The doctor goes to the Jets, and the Chiefs get Daniel Brown, a tight end. Rather interesting here by KC.
Yeah, second trade of the day. We can certainly recap the Engram one later if needed. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, as you guys know, a lot of Chiefs Kingdom, opted out last season. He is a doctor, went to go fight the COVID-19 battle up in Canada, which is certainly admirable. Came back this year, was making about $5 million, but Trey Smith beat him out, the rookie out of Tennessee. So LDT's been a backup. You've got Kyle Long, who's been on the PUP list, so the O-line depth is fine. I thought trading LDT could be a possibility. You get Daniel Brown in return. Just kind of quick research on him. Mostly a blocking tight end.
Yeah.
420 yards and 2 touchdowns career. And I think he's like 6-7 years into his career. Gives you a little depth there after losing Jody Fortson, Tom. So, okay, I guess that's fine. I think more than anything, this trade is shedding some salary for Kansas City. Carries that over. Chiefs have a lot of big contracts on their books for the foreseeable future, so that frees up cap. They have to make a decision on Tyrann Mathieu this offseason as well, but you bring in a guy like Brown, he can help in the block game. He's a vet. He can be a good voice in the locker room. I don't think you're really getting much on-field production out of him, though. But for LDT, Tom, it's a numbers game. He came back this year. When he opted out, he probably think, I'll be a starter again in 2021. Well, you find a hidden gem in Trey Smith in the 6th round, and he was kind of on the outside looking in.
I'm double-checking math here. It's fairly quick. I think the end result here is around $1.3 million for the Chiefs in terms of what they've saved against the cap. Now,
and for a guy who's not playing,
and it ends up being a little bit less since Daniel Brown comes in, but it's not a lot of money from that perspective. So it's an interesting move, though, because you're giving up a starting-ish caliber guard,
starter,
tough to find, for what is clearly a backup tight end, Harrison.
Yeah. And let us know who won the trade, KC or NYJ. Maybe they're doing him a favor. He's a fan favorite. They've got a good relationship. Maybe he's got a chance to go and start for the Jets. They could certainly do a better job of protecting Zach Wilson once he returns from injury. Again, KC or NYJ. But look, the guy wasn't playing in Kansas City, and his future with the Chiefs was probably either getting cut and moved on from after this season. You look at tight end now. You lost Jody Fortson due to the Achilles injury. That was a bummer because I think he was showing real tight end 2 potential.
He was good.
Yeah, he played really well, especially in the preseason, flashed in the regular season. Blake Bell, I still think is tight end 2. He's a decent weapon as a tight end. He can block as well. Daniel Brown, whether it's him or Noah Gray, Tom, out of Duke, had a lot of hype in training camp in the preseason. He's basically done nothing for the Chiefs, so maybe they wanted to bring in a more proven blocker for the stretch run here. This is a pretty minor deal, if we're being completely honest. You're shipping out a lineman that wasn't playing, gets a chance to go play possibly for the Jets now, and you bring in a depth tight end after you lost your backup tight end in Jody Fortson. Seems like a win-win player swap for player swap. I don't have a ton of just earth-shattering thoughts on this overall other than, hey, the Chiefs have been active today, so that's cool.
Yeah, Daniel Brown, especially this year for the Jets, has predominantly been a special teamer, so that's probably another area that we didn't really mention at all either.
And that has value, of course.
Yeah, and look, LDT was not playing for KC.
No.
And barring injury, he wasn't going to play for KC. So
they liked Kyle Long in the in training camp more than LDT.
And I'll throw this.
So if Long gets healthy, he was ahead of him anyway.
And when is Long going to come back, you think? Probably soon?
Unclear. He's eligible to return at any time, so we'll see.
Look, I wonder if LDT kind of maybe wanted out a little bit to go somewhere where he could play.
Sure.
He's still fairly young-ish after all, so it's a interesting move here and is a trade before the trade deadline, although certainly not nearly as noteworthy as that Melvin Engram one. We'll spend some more time here on the LDT trade for the Chiefs, getting Dan Brown, the tight end, back from the New York Jets. But got to tell you guys about Manscaped. Harrison and I both rocking their awesome T-shirts, and actually rocking their boxers as well, which, I'm not going to show you guys, 'cause that's wildly inappropriate. But you can get 20% off and free shipping on all their incredible men's grooming products. They've got a massive variety from underwear to gels and lotion. By the way, Harrison,
they're in the shampoo game now.
They're in the shampoo game. Underrated, by the way, which isn't really talked about too much, are their the shears, which
Yes.
is their nail grooming.
Yes.
I hate normal nail clippers because they suck.
Yes,
they
they're
don't
bad.
work well. The Manscaped ones are actually incredible. So get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/chat. Use the promo code you see on screen. It's chat. And we'll make sure, by the way, that's in the comment section and in the description as well. Manscaped.com/chat. Actually, the second trade the Chiefs have made, Harrison, Melvin Engram also coming to KC.
Yeah, broke this one down in further detail earlier today. If you missed that,
subscribe.
Go to the video tab. Subscribe. Go to the video tabs on the Chiefs Report, and you will have more detail there. But just to kind of recap it in shorter detail, and we can get your thoughts as well, Tom. I gave it a C-ish grade. It's not a home run by any means, but you're giving up a 6th-round pick for a guy who has 18 pressures this year. I mean, that's valuable. He doesn't finish a lot of plays at this point in his career, but we've talked about it a lot on the Chiefs Report. This pass rush has been bad. I mean, it's bad. I think it's twofold. You get Chris Jones to go back inside where he's more comfortable. He played well against the Giants there, just bullied Billy Price multiple times on Monday Night Football, which isn't that hard to do, but he gets to go inside. Ingram's a veteran pass rusher. He goes opposite of Frank Clark. Maybe he or Michael Dana starts. I would guess Engram will start, and Dana can be that number 3 guy who he's been solid-ish as a rotation. But I think the impact of getting Jones back inside is actually the better part of the trade because the experiment at defensive end just has not been that good, Tom. So I think getting him back at that 3 tech, put Jaron Reed on the bench. He has not been a good signing for whatever reason. And now I think you're in at least a little bit better of a position with your pass rush.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I actually think he's a bit low. Look, the Chiefs are obviously all in right now. I think going after Melvin Engram, who's very affordable from a cap space perspective, all these moves in the end between Engram coming in, LDT going out, and Dan Brown coming in is pretty much a net neutral. There's really no major cap impacts
and
there.
You got better.
And I think you did get better, especially from a starting perspective or key rotation perspective. A late day 3 pick, it could be anything. It could be a boat. You're probably not going to get even an older Melvin Engram. So, look, I think the Engram trade is better than the LDT trade. I'm going to give him a B overall, but I am curious what you hear.
Yeah, I mean, B minus. I think considering you add Melvin Engram and when you add up all the cap stuff, maybe it's a couple million in total that you've taken on. It's not that much. That's pretty decent. Hopefully Engram, can get some pressures and help finish some plays, and Chris Jones hopefully. Look, if this helps Chris Jones take off, then it's great because he's been pretty quiet so far this year. So A, B, C, D, or F, let us know how you would grade the Chiefs' move so far today. Subscribe to the channel. If there's a last-minute trade before the buzzer here, we will break it down here on the Chiefs Report, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. And if not, we, of course, will have more videos throughout the week, the latest news, rumors, and obviously a big game coming up here on Sunday against the Packers at home. So make sure you guys subscribe and don't miss any of our videos here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. All right, grade the moves. We're both kind of in that high C, low B area, Tom. I know you gave it a B.
I'm higher on them than you are. That's kind of crazy.
I just don't want to, give the false hope of, everything's fine now.
Okay,
because I think people are like, Melvin Engram. It's like,
I understand that.
Dude, it's not 2017. I mean, he's a goodish player. He's not great, and this team still has issues. I'm seeing a couple of C's in here. Buddy says C. KDA says F. Here's the deal. We're about to rapid-fire Super Chats.
Oh, yeah.
Going forward, we can only guarantee Super Chats that get $5 or higher on screen. We'll verbally shout out all Super Chats, but if you want to get on screen, they've got to be $5 or more. Here's our Super Chat menu. I don't know where the photo went there, but $10 is a roulette spin. $15 is Bean Boozled. Tom, you want to explain that real quick?
Yeah, so we've got these those trick jelly beans. Think of the ones from Harry Potter that are some are good, some are bad. Harrison's gotten screwed.
I've gotten
only bad ones. I've gotten mostly good today. It's kind of crazy.
It's been a bloodbath. But there's our Super Chat menu. There's the roulette wheel. $20, we'll take a shot and chase it with beer. $5, we'll talk about your team. And again, if it's less than $5, we'll just have to verbally shout you guys out. All right, we'll go quick here. This is on our main Chat Sports channel. Take that intern, Jeremy. Texans and Eagles are doing great. Not body, Jeremy. That's a body. All right. Let's
brutal.
Shout out to Elon Musk and Travis Miller, by the way. Those were the other 2 super chats on main. Let's take it to Cowboys.
All right.
We'll give you guys some shout-outs.
Let's go to the Cowboys report here for a couple of super chats. Brennan Johnson
says... roulette wheel spin.
Oh, roulette spin. I'll read it and you can spin. Is it possible that JJ, I assume Jerry Jones, can keep Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn for next year? If head coach offers for Moore high, then can JJ counteroffer? Do you think Kellen Moore is faithful to the Cowboys? It's all going to be a money game. What does Kellen want?
Yeah.
Like, if the Bears offer him the head coaching gig, that's going to be hard to turn down.
I'll mention this, too. I don't think Kellen would have stuck around if the Cowboys didn't pay Dak. I think that Kellen-Dak chemistry
that relationship's real.
Is very real. They get along really well. They trust each other. That is a very interesting situation. I'll say this, though. That's a January problem, not a November problem so much. Checking the
family first here. Will the Cowboys trade for Fuller? Let's go Cowboys. Tom?
I wouldn't get your hopes up, especially with 5 minutes.
All right, what's the roulette wheel?
Let your co-host send 2 tweets from your account.
Okay. How about we let Jeremy do that?
Absolutely not.
Well,
I'll give you my laptop. I'm not. No, get the hell. I'm not on you to get the hell out of here, Jeremy. Absolutely not. Get out of here. I don't trust you.
Let Jeremy do it. Chugs
no. Or Jeremy can send one from both of our
Nick
accounts.
says, no, that's a you thing.
See, I'm being a coward.
Ask Harrison if he would want to sign Gallup in free agency.
I said this about Bears.
This offseason. Dude, I'd take him. Like, if you're not going to pay at Robinson, you can get Gallup for cheaper. Let's ride. Let's get Justin Fields some weapons. Dwayne Jackson says, if the Cowboys, this is a 20-piece, so another shot. If the Cowboys wrap up the division by week 13 to 15, which they should, if you're the Cowboys, should you play for seeding or should you rest players? First of all, you would only rest the last week. You're definitely not resting multiple weeks. I think you play for that number 1 seed, Tom.
I agree. That number 1 seed and the bye is pivotal. Now, once you're eliminated from the bye, maybe at that point you kind of try to get that kind of in-season bye to kind of relax and rest. But I think the bye is immensely important this year. And with the Cardinals late in the year, that's going to have major implications.
Cheers.
Bottoms up.
Oh, man. I need some food. Bus714 says, Cowboys for live, but we need to trade for a ref, just like the rest of the teams can get help. Guys,
I'll take this one. NFL officiating is not a grand conspiracy against whatever team you're a fan of. Cowboys, Raiders, Bears, Chiefs, Seahawks, whatever. There's no conspiracy against your team.
I will add.
It's just that they suck.
I will add it's been
They're bad.
It's been bad this year.
They're bad at their job. That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
We got some news here. Eagles are not, I repeat, not trading Fletcher Cox, as he alluded to on his Instagram post. Here's the post. I can't read what he said.
Forever Philly.
So he's sticking around. He's a Philly guy through and through. He's sticking around in Philadelphia. So no Fletcher Cox trade.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. I got a let me shout out this one. Bears one.
Oh, you got a Bears shout out
here? It's a $5 one. If we can get to it, great. If not, I'll just read it. Nick says, would love to see Chris Olave reconnect with Fields in Chicago.
Ooh.
Could he fall to the second round at this point? Is that he hasn't popped for Ohio State this year.
I think so. It's not a loaded. There's no CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy this year, but it's deep. So if guys like Traylon Burks, Drake London
getting hurt, it could change things for him.
Dude, I love London though. Garrett Wilson. If those guys go early, maybe you see a situation where Olave falls, but it's probably unlikely right now.
Appreciate it, Nick. If you guys want a super chat, we'll shout you out. We'll get you on screen if we can. My team, the Packers, how do you see them doing here on out? I mean, they're a contender. They're right there in the mix. They just beat the Cardinals on the road without Devontae Adams and Allen Lazard. They're legit. 7 straight wins, right, Tom?
It's been impressive. They started the year so slow. Since then, they've really picked it up. That feels like a big deal for Green Bay.
The second half in Detroit in week 2. Since then, they've been a different team, no doubt. Guys, we are less than 100 subscribers away from 266K. The goal was to get there before the end of the trade deadline. We've got a minute. Can we get there? Can we get to 266? Mm-hmm. Come on, subscribe. Hit that sub button. Let's go. Should we go sub only?
Let's go sub
Let's
only.
Go sub only.
And Jeremy, why don't you come in here? I'll let you fire off some tweets.
Get in here, Chuggy Bull. Hey, let's get to 266K.
I am concerned, by the way.
Apparently, Jeremy's not allowed to come in here, so we'll do it
fine.
later. Type me if you want a shout out. Also, subscribe to be involved in the chat. And I'm going to be checking my phone to see if we get to 266, Tom. Are we getting
I think
there?
we'll get there.
We got 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
I'm going to track the live one here. Ooh,
We're 41 away.
967. I got the live count right here. I know not all 1,500 of you guys are subscribed.
1,800 now, bro.
Oh, big jump. Okay. Well, I'm way behind.
Subscribe.
Weird.
Let's get to 266,000. You got 10 seconds.
972. I don't like
Sub.
974.
10, 5,
76.
4, 3, 98, 2, 1.
980.
I'm refreshing.
984.
Oh, I'm not seeing it.
989.
We're 2 away. We got there. We'll count it.
All right. There it is.
The NFL trade deadline.
Okay, 05 now. There we go.
The NFL trade deadline has come and passed, but sometimes deals can get announced a few minutes after the deadline.
I think the under hit, though.
But as of now, the under hit 4 trades.
Life, death, the NFL trade deadline not being all that good.
But the audience being great, so that's always fun.
Oh, this is a good one.
How boring was the trade deadline? That's pretty boring.
It's a 10. Especially like the yesterday and the morning was interesting.
Yes, it was.
This was a snooze fest.
Yeah.
And I think a big reason why here, you got to push this back in the calendar.
Yeah.
Why is this in early November?
We're not even halfway through the season.
You've got 2 full months of football left.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I think it should be like the week before Thanksgiving.
I would agree.
Mid to late November.
I think that you late 2 weeks, and you're in great shape.
Yep.
I think that this is just way too late.
This is one of the rare things the NFL doesn't do right. Usually they're good at owning the calendar. This is kind of a miss, though. We'll get some shout-outs here. Your boss says 10. Berger says 10. Clayton, 10. Your boss, 10. Phoenix, 10. Collier, 10. No LJ Collier trade, by the way.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, I saw you entered the results of the singing.
They were terrible.
Oh, actually, you said grade the signing. I missed that one. 1 to 10. Let's see. Jacob says 8. Ray says 10. Yeah, I mean, it's like 8 and higher. Jonathan says 1, so you're saying it. Maybe you're thinking backwards, 1 being very boring, but it's pretty boring, but no real surprises
We are
there.
simulcasting on Cowboys, so I'll make this note real quick. Bradley and I has been cut by the team.
Wow.
Not overly surprised. There's a numbers crunch coming for Dallas. They had to free up some roster spots.
He's been cut, and that sounds like a cut coming up.
They're going to try to get him on the practice squad.
Let me tell you this too, Bears fans watching. We're live on Chicago Bears now. This team not selling any pieces is stupid. You're not making the playoffs.
Gonna be a lot of losers when we do winners and losers.
You're not making the playoffs. I'm sorry. Dude, this team.
You in shambles, buddy?
This team just pisses me off sometimes. They just do stupid
I get it.
stuff.
I get it. There's been a lot of questionable moves there.
Yeah, let's keep Allen Robinson, even though we're probably not going to pay him. Oh, you get a comp pick in 2 years? Sweet. I think it's dumb.
Maybe a comp pick.
Maybe, yeah. It's not even a guarantee. Brutal. All right, we're going to do some live Q&A now that the trade deadline has come and passed. Is this cut time Q&A?
It is cut time.
All right. I just want to make sure there's no last-minute trades coming through here. So, hashtag NFL or Super Chat to skip the line. All Super Chats of any amounts we will get into this live Q&A. So, if you want to throw just $2 ones, that will be just fine. Hashtag NFL. We're having a producer showdown between Brett and Sam right now. Way too much stress right now.
Oh my God! A punch just got thrown.
Let's just have some fun here, guys. It's going to be okay. We're talking sports. Hashtag NFL or Super Chat to get on the show. And don't ask about potential trades, at least for the deadline. If you want to ask for the offseason, that's fine. Deadline's over.
It's over.
Don't
it's
ask
done.
about trades for today.
R.I.P.
It is done. And it is what it is. If you want to ask about Deshaun offseason trade, I won't stop you because we'll SEO the heck out of that bag. Hashtag NFL or Super Chat. And now that the deadline's over, we're answering your questions like we always do here on NFL Daily. And let's ride. Real quick, Comet Driver, who wins the Super Bowl? Nothing that happened at the deadline, I don't think, changes much, Tom, right?
Nearly no change as far as I'm concerned. Your favorites are still your favorites.
It's the top 5 in the NFC, which
is
are
loaded,
Cowboys,
by the way.
Cardinals, Packers, Bucks.
You mentioned Rams?
And Rams. Those are the 5. I think the rest of the NFC are not contenders.
Yep.
In the AFC, it is Buffalo. Let me look at the standings.
Titans.
Yeah.
Raiders, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals.
Chiefs, if they can figure it out, but they don't look like that right now. So there you go. Here's the playoff picture as we currently sit in the NFC. I mentioned those top 5. Those teams are locks to make the playoffs. New Orleans is in a good spot to make it, but now they don't have their quarterback, Jameis Winston. But at 5-2, they're in a pretty good position. And then you got kind of a bunch of teams. You got Carolina at 4-4, Minnesota, San Francisco, Atlanta with 4 losses, Philly, Chicago, Seattle at 3-5. Giants are now 2-6 after Monday Night Football, and then Washington's 2-6 as well. AFC. Tennessee, the Raiders, obviously they got that Henry Ruggs situation now. The Ravens at 5-2, the Bills, Cincinnati with a bad loss to the Jets. I don't think Pittsburgh's any good, even though they're at 4-3. If the Chargers can wake up, I like them as a sleeper type of contender. And then you've got those teams at 4-4: New England, Cleveland, Denver, Kansas City. Maybe the Colts, the last team in the potential hunt. After that, that's kind of it. AFC feels more open, Tom.
It really does
than the NFC.
It feels like any of those top 7 plus the Chiefs. And maybe the Browns could really make a deep run. It's a very interesting situation here.
Yeah.
It's a very almost strange year. Like the Chiefs' top heavy is not that high.
Yeah.
So I think part of this is we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
That AFC I think is going to be a very close situation.
We'll see. We're going to answer your questions coming up on NFL Daily, hashtag NFL or Super Chat, to get your questions on the show. Are these part of the cut here, Sam? These are not part of the – all right. Well, a couple of Super Chats to hit, and then we'll get going here. I think Raiders will waive Henry Ruggs for death, even if not guilty. I'm not going to speculate what the Raiders are going to do. I assume they'll do their due diligence. But if you missed the news, Henry Ruggs has been charged with DUI resulting in death. Was in a car accident. Clearly was over the legal limit in terms of alcohol consumption, and someone lost their life. Tragic. It's
brutal.
It's just a bad situation. DJ, who's won in the Super Bowl? We kind of just mentioned the contenders. How about let's just throw our Super Bowl teams out there, Tom, as we sit right now.
My preseason prediction was Packers-Chiefs.
I would no longer say the Chiefs.
And I would completely agree. So we'll go Packers-Bills and not say what I really want to happen.
I'm going to go Bills-Bucks. How about that?
I could see that.
Bills-Bucks.
It's tough to ever doubt Tom Brady at this point because he keeps finding ways to do it.
He just keeps doing it. So.
Alleged plastic surgery and all.
Skeptical fan. Let's see what he's got here. What happened to the peanut butter ice cream challenge?
So I don't know what this is. If you mean the mac and cheese ice cream,
that happened.
We've done that. I'll eat some more right now. God knows I need some food, but the mac and cheese ice cream didn't happen.
I will not eat some right now. So there you go.
Look, we've done quite a few shots, and I've had no food today. So maybe that wasn't a good decision on my part.
Oh, I think this would actually be a good one for the Q&A, Sam. We should save this next one.
Mm-hmm. We can hit it now, though.
We can hit it now, but let's hit this one again because I think this is a good one for a mailbag. Rivers open to come out of retirement for the Saints.
Fire off 2 tweets right now.
That's the report that they are willing that he is open to returning if the Saints are interested. So without Jameis Winston, could be a possibility. All right, mac and cheese ice cream.
I still don't like it very much. I don't know why I agreed to this.
So there you go. Not a sponsor, but they did donate those.
It's so cheesy. It's too cheesy.
Too cheesy?
Like I need the caramel
Can something
sauce.
be too cheesy?
Yeah,
I love cheese.
It's this.
I don't know, man. I haven't tried it, so I can't comment too much.
I am letting, by the way, Jeremy, if you want to slide up here, come on up here.
All right. We've given some buffer time for the trade deadline just to make sure there weren't any after the buzzer trades.
Jeremy's firing off some tweets for me.
Panthers cut Devin Smith, but that's nothing relevant. So, okay, Schefter just recapped all the trades that have happened this year, so I think we're in the clear.
That was pretty funny. I like that one.
You good, Jeremy?
That first one's pretty good. At what going Downey?
Follow Tom on Twitter.
That was pretty funny.
Jeremy is tweeting out random stuff.
Oh no! You can't delete these or say it wasn't him. That was not on the note.
Yeah, I don't know if that was in the contract. So, by the way, Tom, if you need to go prep a Cowboys, I can go solo here.
Oh, actually,
if needed, it's up to you guys.
That might make some sense.
Unless we want to just do a quick 10 minutes.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. I'll handle NFL Q&A. Tom's going to go break down Bradley and I getting cut. So we'll go ahead and say adios. Tom, appreciate it. I had fun doing it.
No. Bye, guys.
There he goes. He's going to go get a video out on the Cowboys report. Should we kill Cowboys stream? Yeah. No? Okay. All right. He'll have a video up on Bradley and I, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to handle a little live Q&A, so use hashtag NFL or Super Chat. We'll also hit that Rivers question as well. Let's get into it. Here we go. This NFL mailbag is presented by Manscaped. The NFL trade deadline is in the books, so we're going to answer some questions following the deadline. Shout out to Manscaped for being today's sponsor, the best men's grooming products on the market. Go to manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off plus free shipping. It's the best men's grooming products out there. Hashtag NFL or Super Chat, and we will answer as many questions as we can here on today's show. Let's start with this one from Nick, a Super Chat. Appreciate it. Rivers open to coming out of retirement for the Saints. So there was a report on Tuesday that Phillip Rivers would be willing to listen to the Saints. And that's interesting. A couple of months ago in August, he said, look, I'm staying in shape. If the right opportunity opened up, I wouldn't rule it out. The Saints losing Jameis Winston, but sitting at 5-2, feels like a good opportunity considering Sean Payton coaches that team, and ironically enough, this would be the second time Phillip Rivers replaces Drew Brees, because if you remember, the Chargers drafted Rivers and let Brees go in free agency way back when, and now Brees retired after last year, he could replace him kind of once again. Burnin' Spades, he's back. Thoughts on moves for the Falcons with the loss of Calvin Ridley? Obviously the trade deadline's over, but moving forward, I think you'll kind of get a better feel this offseason if Ridley's going to return for next year. I think it's pretty safe to say he won't return this year. We'll see if that changes. If he's gone, then receiver becomes a major need because you traded Julio Jones this offseason. You've got Kyle Pitts at tight end, but receiver becomes a major focus if you are Atlanta this offseason, whether that's in the draft or in free agency. Zachary Lindborgen, trade deadline was an L per usual, although just came out that the Saints tried to trade for OBJ, but they couldn't agree. I haven't seen that report, but if that's true, that is interesting. I would have liked OBJ in New Orleans, but you got to figure out what's the quarterback situation. Is it Taysom Hill? I don't know if OBJ really helps Taysom Hill, if I'm being completely honest. Evan Talks Sports, are the Cowboys a team that would sign Cam Newton to be a backup for Dak Prescott just in case he gets hurt? I will say this. Now that Cam is vaccinated, that helps his cause for getting signed because teams have made it pretty clear. If you're a backup player and you're unvaxxed, you're pretty expendable. That's just the reality of the situation. But also, Cooper Rush just played pretty well. I think the Cowboys are comfortable with him. He knows the playbook. Cam obviously does not. I don't see the Cowboys signing Cam Newton unless Dak were to suffer a major injury, and obviously that has not been the case here. Will a team sign Cam Newton? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I think now that the trade deadline has passed, this becomes more of a possibility, but let me know what you guys think. Will he get signed at some point this year? Give me a Y for yes, or you can give me an N for no. The General Store, how did Derrick Henry play through such a serious injury? He's tough as hell. He's big as hell, but he did have a foot surgery on Tuesday morning. That went well. We'll see if he has a chance to return this year. It sounds like he may not. They did sign Adrian Peterson in Tennessee to help replace him, but it's a bummer because he was having an MVP caliber season. Izzy World, is Dak still in the MVP race? Yes. Missing one game isn't going to cost you the MVP. I would argue if anything, it helped because while Cooper Rush played fairly well, I think it's clear Dallas would have blown out Minnesota if Dak was healthy and played in that game. Now, if he misses a couple more games, that'll take him out of it. But if he only misses one, maybe 2 games and balls out and the Cowboys get the number 1 seed in the NFC, he's absolutely in the hunt. Mark Kearns, how can Miami take a quarterback when Philadelphia has their first-round pick? Oh, you know what? On our live NFL trade deadline coverage show, I may have mentioned this, or Tom may have. That's true. Philly has their picks, so it's got to be hard to draft a quarterback to replace Tua there. So we'll see how they address quarterback this offseason. Appreciate the correction from you, Mark. From one Mark to another, Mark Mullo, what is the future of the Lions in Detroit after countless losing seasons? I mean, I don't think they're leaving Detroit, if that's what you're alluding to there. The future of the team as a whole is you just got to get good young talent, man. They're a talentless roster. They have no good receivers. They have a talentless defense. I do think the offensive line has some nice pieces. I like DeAndre Swift at running back. Obviously, Jared Goff is a stopgap guy. He's fine for now, but he's not the long-term solution. You're going to have to figure that out, whether that's in the draft or in free agency. But, yeah, I mean, it's tough times right now for Detroit. But that's why you trade Matthew Stafford for picks. Hopefully you can do something with those picks. Kool-Aid Man, I wouldn't pay Baker at all, franchise tag next year, then trade for Russell Wilson. Look, if I'm Cleveland, the way Baker has played this year, I know he's injured, he's banged up, the left shoulder's a problem. I'm at least fairly hesitant because he plays his best when they have an elite rushing attack. And now that Chubb and Hunt have been banged up, you're seeing just okay quarterback play. I'm sure the injury is factoring in there, but are you ready to back up the Brink truck for $38-40 million a year for Baker? That seems like a heavy investment for a guy that's good, but is he great? Is he elite? Is he top 8 in the NFL? I don't think he's top 8. I don't know if he's top 10. He's somewhere in that 12 to 15 range, and that's kind of the range of, okay, it's a tough decision. I would guess they'll pay him, but maybe he has to take a little bit less than what the high-end franchise guys are getting. DJ Kane with the Super Chat. Any news on Cam? Not currently, as we're filming this on Tuesday. That could change, but depending on when you're watching this, as of now, as of Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, as we're filming this, no news at this point in time. Manscaped has the best men's grooming products on the open market. The holiday season is here, and Manscaped leads the way when it comes to hygiene, especially for males out there. Get 20% off the Lawnmower 4.0 and all of their products when you go to manscaped.com/chat. You also get free shipping when you use that link as well. The Lawnmower is fantastic. It helps shave your family jewels, if you will. They've got 4 adjustable guards where maybe you want to leave a little bit of hair downstairs. You're not a fully clean-shaven guy. You can just trim if you want to as well. Wireless charging station. You can shave in the shower as it's waterproof. This is a great product. You see the markdown price. $71 sounds like a lot. I'm not going to say, it's dirt cheap, but I've had my lawnmower for 2 years, and the battery life is super long, and it's a great product. So I think it's well worth the investment. Manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off plus free shipping. We'll make sure that link and that promo stuff is in the YouTube copy. All right, Ariel Zaniga. Can the Raiders get comp picks for losing Ruggs? I don't think so, man. This is a very unique situation. By the way, I'll just add, I don't think that should be the immediate reaction and focus. How can the Raiders benefit from this? Someone lost their life, and that should be the focus on the victim and their family. This is a tragic situation that happened here on Tuesday morning. If you haven't seen the news, I don't know how you haven't. Ruggs has been charged with DUI. What was the charge, Sam? DUI resulting in death. DUI resulting in death, basically meaning he was driving drunk and someone died because of that in a car crash he caused. That's a bad situation. That's tragic. He made an awful decision. There's no way to sugarcoat it. His future playing career is beyond in doubt. He could serve jail time, guys, like 2 to 20 years based on this felony charge, and also some other potential situations as well. Probably a money charge as well, a civil charge coming his way, I would imagine as well. It's not good. Ruggs is in a bad spot. The Raiders are in a bad spot as well. I don't know if they can get comp picks for him, but I don't think that should be the focus. Disco Jayon says, are the Dolphins getting Deshaun Watson? So, obviously, the trade deadline has passed. They did not agree to a trade. I think this will heat back up this offseason because Tua's future is very much questionable there. If we can get more clarity on Deshaun Watson's legal situation, I think a trade could happen. But until it's unknown, until these 22 sexual assault claims, as long as they're still out there, I think it was just proven at the trade deadline he's basically impossible to trade right now because those allegations are very, very strong. Uno, who will be the wild card in the NFC? Well, we've got the playoff picture. We can kind of see where we sit here. I continue to repeat, the top 5 teams are set for the playoffs in the NFC. The Packers are going to win the North. The Rams or the Cardinals will win the West. The Cowboys are winning the East. It'll probably be the Bucs in the South, even though they just lost to New Orleans. But with Jameis Winston going down and uncertainty with New Orleans' quarterback situation, I'll say Tampa wins there. New Orleans has a pretty firm grip on the number 6 seed, but that could certainly change depending on if they start losing games with questionable quarterback play. Out of Carolina, Minnesota, San Francisco, Atlanta, Philly, Chicago, and Seattle, one of those teams is making the playoffs. If Russell Wilson gets healthy quick enough, maybe they sneak in and become one of the more dangerous 7 seeds in NFL history because no one wants to face Russell Wilson come playoff time. So that will certainly be interesting, but that's kind of where we sit through 8 weeks in the season. Are you an NFL fan? I assume you are if you're watching us right now. Subscribe because we have daily videos on the NFL, the latest news, rumors, mailbags. We do kind of our own version of Red Zone on Sundays. We're keeping you guys up to date on all of the game action on Sunday. Usually the early games, sometimes the afternoon games as well. Hit that big red button. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. More free videos here on Chat Sports. We got time for a few more questions. Zachary says, do the Packers not making moves kind of seal the deal for Rodgers? Adam retweeted the info about Odell. I still haven't seen this Odell thing, so I don't know what that means, but I don't know if it seals the deal. If they go out and win a Super Bowl, maybe he would decide to return. But I do think it may have been sealed already. Rodgers seems pretty firm in that he wants this to be his last year in Green Bay. Maybe that changes, but as of now, I think that is his stance. Umbreon, did the Eagles trade for him? They did not make a trade. They did not trade for anybody, I should say. They, of course, traded Joe Flacco a couple of days ago. But, yeah, they did not. They were not active at the trade deadline. Eric Simmons, can Von Miller help the Rams' defense? Yes. You don't trade a second and a third unless if you don't think he can. They sent a 2022 second and third to Denver. Pick-wise, it's a slight overpay, but the Broncos ate most of Miller's salary to make the trade work. Von Miller's still a good player. He's not elite. He's not prime Von Miller, but he absolutely can help. The Rams are all in, which is very admirable. If you're a fan of the Rams, you should love the way they approach these things because they're always trying to win Super Bowls. They haven't won one yet, but they're in the mix every year, it seems like, and especially now with Matthew Stafford instead of Jared Goff. They are absolutely a major Super Bowl contender. I think Von Miller helps, and I think this team is pretty complete on both sides of the football. King Bam, Lions offseason signings. We'll see. You got to get receivers in there. Allen Robinson. Devontae Adams will be a free agent. Do you just throw the bag at him? Would he leave Green Bay for Detroit? You have to pay a lot. Michael Gallup could be a more realistic name, by the way. Super chat here. Why did the Chiefs go for a tight end? They were dumping LDT. That's it. Don't overlook this trade, and we can flash it real quick. LDT to the Jets for Daniel Brown. Brown's a blocking guy. This is not about Daniel Brown. This is about saving a little bit of cap by shipping out Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. And, I mean, as far as depth is concerned, you did lose Jody Fortson at tight end, so Brown's at least a depth piece at the end of the day. Who do you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl? We're just about halfway through the year. So who's winning it? Let us know down in the comments. Like I said, Bills versus Bucks was my prediction earlier on Tuesday. But there's a lot of contenders. There's 7, 8, 9, 10 contenders at this point in the year. It feels somewhat wide open, which is exciting. DeQuanta Clark, who would you pair with the Colts? I don't know. Oh, Michael Pittman Jr., free agent or underrated draft pick. I think you need more speed in that offense. T.Y. Hilton hadn't been able to stay healthy. If you could get a guy that could kind of replicate what he was able to do in his prime, that's ideal. That's the type of receiver I would look at, whether it's in the draft or in free agency. Get some speed on the outside. I love MPJ. He's a really good player. Mans the slot mostly. I think he's got a very, very bright future. This might be the final word here. Not NFL related, but who is your top 4 ahead of the CFP rankings? All right, Mark. We're actually going to go live. I still think that's the plan. If you're watching live here on Tuesday at 6:45 Eastern, 5:45 Central, myself, and then Michigan man himself, James Yoder, are going to break down the first CFP rankings. This is very hard because I don't know who's going to be number 2 behind Georgia. The only thing I know for sure, Georgia will be number 1. I'll just guess. I'm going to guess that they put Alabama at 2, which I would hate. They'll put Michigan State at 3, who just beat Michigan, and then Cincinnati 4 with Oklahoma at 5. But I think they could put Bama at 2. I think that'd be stupid, but let's be honest. That's what this committee it kind of does. So it is what it is. What X Trezzy, appreciate the super. I lost hope for KC, but I hope Engram helps us. Look, you're 4-4. I get it. This team has not been good. You can't sugarcoat it at this point. We're halfway through the year, and this Chiefs team has not been good. But at least you're 4-4. Most teams that play bad are 2-6, 1-7. This team, at least with their talent, has found a way to be 500. You're still in the mix. I'm not saying you should be like, oh, this team's going to the Super Bowl, but we know this team is capable. Hopefully they can, they can flip the switch at some point soon. Dwayne Jackson. We're going to catch up on supers. Tom, which players should the Cowboys keep their eye on in the draft? Tom is working on another video at the moment. I think he would like to get a defensive tackle and maybe a center too. Center, Tom? All right. He gave me a thumbs up on those. Appreciate that, Dwayne. If we've got any more supers, we'll hit them, and then we're going to... Can intern Jeremy take a shot? Why not? Get in here. Get in here, Chuggy Bull. Appreciate that. $10. We can do a shot. I'll take one with you. How about that? Are you doing the jack? Here's you. Nah, we're not doing both. All right, we'll spin it. Spinning the roulette wheel. Beer bong. Trace, get in here. Trace is beer bonging. It ain't going to be me. I'm on an empty stomach. I can't be beer bonging right now. Can't be beer bonging right now. We caught up on supers? What's the plan here? Are we gonna loop this or? Okay, I just didn't know. Trace is going to get the beer for the beer bong, and then we're going to send this on loop. In the meantime, we'll get some comments flowing here. Shout out your favorite team. Let us know where you guys, who you're repping. Let's ride. Jonathan's a Rams fan. I'll get some shout-outs going if you guys get your comments in. Mark says the Packers. Bobo says the Packers. Evan says the Cowboys. New trade. Not a new trade. Some news items coming in, though. Deshaun Jackson expected to get released. They could not find a trade for him. I wonder if the Chiefs would sign him. That'd be interesting. Lions from King. All right. Oh, I'm being told, yes, there was a trade. Can someone tell me who it was? Kerry Vincent?
I've got you covered, Harrison. Kerry Vincent Jr. traded to the Philadelphia Eagles from the Denver Broncos.
So the Eagles did make a trade, so we're going to have to cut around that in that mailbag. All right, shout out your favorite team. Seeing Cowboys, Eagles, Raiders, Pats, Falcons, Niners. Trace, get up here. We're going to do this little beer bong piece now. So hang 10 here. Oh, here he goes. I'll make sure we're balanced up there. All right. Chug away. There you go. Trace Gerard. Going back to the SEC college days. All right. Subscribe to the channel. Hey, shout out to you guys. We got to 266K, 266,000 subscribers. We crossed that number, 267, just around the corner. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Tom Downey, producer Sam Brown, rolling with us all day, the entire Chat Sports team for helping get the graphics made. We could not do what we do without our entire staff's help. They are fantastic. Stay tuned. We will kind of recap some of the news that has happened, and we will loop this Q&A, so stick with us. This NFL mailbag is presented by Manscaped. The NFL trade deadline is in the books, so we're going to answer some questions following the deadline. Shout out to Manscaped for being today's sponsor, the best men's grooming products on the market. Go to manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off plus free shipping. It's the best men's grooming products out there. Hashtag NFL or Super Chat, and we will answer as many questions as we can here on today's show. Let's start with this one from Nick, a Super Chat. Appreciate it. Rivers open to coming out of retirement for the Saints. So there was a report on Tuesday that Phillip Rivers would be willing to listen to the Saints. And that's interesting. A couple of months ago in August, he said, look, I'm staying in shape. If the right opportunity opened up, I wouldn't rule it out. The Saints losing Jameis Winston, but sitting at 5-2, feels like a good opportunity considering Sean Payton coaches that team, and ironically enough, this would be the second time Phillip Rivers replaces Drew Brees, because if you remember, the Chargers drafted Rivers and let Brees go in free agency way back when, and now Brees retired after last year, he could replace him kind of once again. Burnin' Spades, he's back. Thoughts on moves for the Falcons with the loss of Calvin Ridley? Obviously, the trade deadline's over, but moving forward, I think you'll kind of get a better feel this offseason if Ridley's going to return for next year. I think it's pretty safe to say he won't return this year. We'll see if that changes. If he's gone, then receiver becomes a major need because you traded Julio Jones this offseason. You've got Kyle Pitts at tight end, but receiver becomes a major focus if you are Atlanta this offseason, whether that's in the draft or in free agency. Zachary Lindborgen, trade deadline was an L per usual, although just came out that the Saints tried to trade for OBJ, but they couldn't agree. I haven't seen that report, but if that's true, that is interesting. I would have liked OBJ in New Orleans, but you got to figure out what's the quarterback situation. Is it Taysom Hill? I don't know if OBJ really helps Taysom Hill, if I'm being completely honest. Evan Talks Sports, are the Cowboys a team that would sign Cam Newton to be a backup for Dak Prescott just in case he gets hurt? I will say this. Now that Cam is vaccinated, that helps his cause for getting signed because teams have made it pretty clear. If you're a backup player and you're unvaxxed, you're pretty expendable. That's just the reality of the situation. But also, Cooper Rush just played pretty well. I think the Cowboys are comfortable with him. He knows the playbook. Cam obviously does not. I don't see the Cowboys signing Cam Newton unless Dak were to suffer a major injury, and obviously that has not been the case here. Will a team sign Cam Newton? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I think now that the trade deadline has passed, this becomes more of a possibility, but let me know what you guys think. Will he get signed at some point this year? Give me a Y for yes, or you can give me an N for no. The General Store, how did Derrick Henry play through such a serious injury? He's tough as hell. He's big as hell, but he did have a foot surgery on Tuesday morning. That went well. We'll see if he has a chance to return this year. It sounds like he may not. They did sign Adrian Peterson in Tennessee to help replace him, but it's a bummer because he was having an MVP caliber season. Izzy World, is Dak still in the MVP race? Yes. Missing one game isn't going to cost you the MVP. I would argue it. If anything, it helped because while Cooper Rush played fairly well, I think it's clear Dallas would have blown out Minnesota if Dak was healthy and played in that game. Now, if he misses a couple more games, that'll take him out of it. But if he only misses one, maybe 2 games and balls out and the Cowboys get the number 1 seed in the NFC, he's absolutely in the hunt. Mark Kearns, how can Miami take a quarterback when Philadelphia has their first-round pick? Oh, you know what? On our live NFL trade deadline coverage show, I may have mentioned this, or Tom may have. That's true. Philly has their picks, so it's got to be hard to draft a quarterback to replace Tua there. So we'll see how they address quarterback this offseason. Appreciate the correction from you, Mark. From one Mark to another, Mark Mullo, what is the future of the Lions in Detroit after countless losing seasons? I mean, I don't think they're leaving Detroit, if that's what you're alluding to there. The future of the team as a whole is you just got to get good young talent, man. They're a talentless roster. They have no good receivers. They have a talentless defense. I do think the offensive line has some nice pieces. I like DeAndre Swift at running back. Obviously, Jared Goff is a stopgap guy. He's fine for now, but he's not the long-term solution. You're going to have to figure that out, whether that's in the draft or in free agency. But, yeah, I mean, it's tough times right now for Detroit. But that's why you trade Matthew Stafford for picks. Hopefully you can do something with those picks. Kool-Aid Man, I wouldn't pay Baker at all, franchise tag next year, then trade for Russell Wilson. Look, if I'm Cleveland, the way Baker has played this year, I know he's injured, he's banged up, the left shoulder's a problem. I'm at least fairly hesitant because he plays his best when they have an elite rushing attack. And now that Chubb and Hunt have been banged up, you're seeing just okay quarterback play. I'm sure the injury is factoring in there, but are you ready to back up the Brink truck for $38-40 million a year for Baker? That seems like a heavy investment for a guy that's good, but is he great? Is he elite? Is he top 8 in the NFL? I don't think he's top 8. I don't know if he's top 10. He's somewhere in that 12 to 15 range, and that's kind of the range of, okay, it's a tough decision. I would guess they'll pay him, but maybe he has to take a little bit less than what the high-end franchise guys are getting. DJ Kane with the Super Chat. Any news on Cam? Not currently, as we're filming this on Tuesday. That could change, but depending on when you're watching this, as of now, as of Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, as we're filming this, no news at this point in time. Manscaped has the best men's grooming products on the open market. The holiday season is here, and Manscaped leads the way when it comes to hygiene, especially for males out there. Get 20% off the Lawnmower 4.0 and all of their products when you go to manscaped.com/chat. You also get free shipping when you use that link as well. The Lawnmower is fantastic. It helps shave your family jewels, if you will. They've got 4 adjustable guards where maybe you want to leave a little bit of hair downstairs. You're not a fully clean-shaven guy. You can just trim if you want to as well. Wireless charging station. You can shave in the shower as it's waterproof. This is a great product. You see the markdown price. $71 sounds like a lot. I'm not going to say, it's dirt cheap, but I've had my lawnmower for 2 years, and the battery life is super long, and it's a great product. So I think it's well worth the investment. Manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off plus free shipping. We'll make sure that link and that promo stuff is in the YouTube copy. All right, Ariel Zuniga. Can the Raiders get comp picks for losing Ruggs? I don't think so, man. This is a very unique situation. By the way, I'll just add, I don't think that should be the immediate reaction and focus. How can the Raiders benefit from this? Someone lost their life, and that should be the focus on the victim and their family. This is a tragic situation that happened here on Tuesday morning. If you haven't seen the news, I don't know how you haven't. Ruggs has been charged with DUI. What was the charge, Sam? DUI resulting in death. Basically meaning he was driving drunk and someone died because of that in a car crash he caused. That's a bad situation. That's tragic. He made an awful decision. There's no way to sugarcoat it. His future playing career is beyond in doubt. He could serve jail time, guys, like 2 to 20 years based on this felony charge, and also some other potential situations as well. Probably a money charge as well, a civil charge coming his way, I would imagine as well. It's not good. The Ruggs is in a bad spot. The Raiders are in a bad spot as well. I don't know if they can get comp picks for him, but I don't think that should be the focus. Disco Jayon says, are the Dolphins getting Deshaun Watson? So, obviously, the trade deadline has passed. They did not agree to a trade. I think this will heat back up this offseason because Tua's future is very much questionable there. If we can get more clarity on Deshaun Watson's legal situation, I think a trade could happen. But until it's unknown, until these 22 sexual assault claims, as long as they're still out there, I think it was just proven at the trade deadline, he's basically impossible to trade right now because those allegations are very, very strong. Uno, who will be the wild card in the NFC? Well, we've got the playoff picture. We can kind of see where we sit here. I continue to repeat, the top 5 teams are set for the playoffs in the NFC. The Packers are going to win the North. The Rams or the Cardinals will win the West. The Cowboys are winning the East. It'll probably be the Bucs in the South, even though they just lost to New Orleans. But with Jameis Winston going down and uncertainty with New Orleans' quarterback situation, I'll say Tampa wins there. New Orleans has a pretty firm grip on the number 6 seed, but that could certainly change depending on if they start losing games with questionable quarterback play. Out of Carolina, Minnesota, San Francisco, Atlanta, Philly, Chicago, and Seattle, one of those teams is making the playoffs. If Russell Wilson gets healthy quick enough, maybe they sneak in and become one of the more dangerous 7 seeds in NFL history, because no one wants to face Russell Wilson come playoff time. So that will certainly be interesting, but that's kind of where we sit through 8 weeks in the season. Are you an NFL fan? I assume you are if you're watching us right now. Subscribe, because we have daily videos on the NFL, the latest news, rumors, mailbags. We do kind of our own version of Red Zone on Sundays. We're keeping you guys up to date on all of the game action on Sunday. Usually the early games, sometimes the afternoon games as well. Hit that big red button. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. More free videos here on Chat Sports. We've got time for a few more questions. Zachary says, do the Packers not making moves kind of seal the deal for Rodgers? Adam retweeted the info about Odell. I still haven't seen this Odell thing, so I don't know what that means, but I don't know if it seals the deal. If they go out and win a Super Bowl, maybe he would decide to return. But I do think it may have been sealed already. Rodgers seems pretty firm in that he wants this to be his last year in Green Bay. Maybe that changes, but as of now, I think that is his stance. Umbreon, did the Eagles trade for him? They did not make a trade. They did not trade for anybody, I should say. They, of course, traded Joe Flacco a couple of days ago. But, yeah, they did not. They were not active at the trade deadline. Eric Simmons, can Von Miller help the Rams' defense? Yes. You don't trade a second and a third unless if you don't think he can. They sent a 2022 second and third to Denver. Pick-wise, it's a slight overpay, but the Broncos ate most of Miller's salary to make the trade work. Von Miller is still a good player. He's not elite. He's not prime Von Miller, but he absolutely can help. The Rams are all in, which is very admirable. If you're a fan of the Rams, you should love the way they approach these things, because they're always trying to win Super Bowls. They haven't won one yet, but they're in the mix every year, it seems like, and especially now with Matthew Stafford instead of Jared Goff. They are absolutely a major Super Bowl contender. I think Von Miller helps, and I think this team is pretty complete on both sides of the football. King Bam, Lions offseason signings. We'll see. You got to get receivers in there. Allen Robinson. Devontae Adams will be a free agent. Do you just throw the bag at him? Would he leave Green Bay for Detroit? You have to pay a lot. Michael Gallup could be a more realistic name, by the way. Super chat here. Why did the Chiefs go for a tight end? They were dumping LDT. That's it. Don't overlook this trade, and we can flash it real quick. LDT to the Jets for Daniel Brown. Brown's a blocking guy. This is not about Daniel Brown. This is about saving a little bit of cap by shipping out Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. And, I mean, as far as depth is concerned, you did lose Jody Fortson at tight end, so Brown's at least a depth piece at the end of the day. Who do you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl? We're just about halfway through the year. So who's winning it? Let us know down in the comments. Like I said, Bills versus Bucks was my prediction earlier on Tuesday. But there's a lot of contenders. There's 7, 8, 9, 10 contenders at this point in the year. It feels somewhat wide open, which is exciting. DeQuanta Clark, who would you pair with the Colts? I don't know. Oh, Michael Pittman Jr., free agent or underrated draft pick. I think you need more speed in that offense. T.Y. Hilton hadn't been able to stay healthy. If you could get a guy that could kind of replicate what he was able to do in his prime, that's ideal. That's the type of receiver I would look at, whether it's in the draft or in free agency. Get some speed on the outside. I love MPJ. He's a really good player. Mans the slot mostly. I think he's got a very, very bright future. This might be the final word here. Not NFL related, but who is your top 4 ahead of the CFP rankings? All right, Mark. We're actually going to go live. I still think that's the plan. If you're watching live here on Tuesday at 6:45 Eastern, 5:45 Central, myself, and then Michigan man himself, James Yoder, are going to break down the first CFP rankings. This is very hard because I don't know who's going to be number 2 behind Georgia. The only thing I know for sure, Georgia will be number 1. I'll just guess. I'm going to guess that they put Alabama at 2, which I would hate. They'll put Michigan State at 3, who just beat Michigan, and then Cincinnati 4 with Oklahoma at 5. But I think they could put Bama at 2. I think that'd be stupid, but let's be honest. That's what this committee it kind of does. So it is what it is. What X Trezzy, appreciate the super. I lost hope for KC, but I hope Engram helps us. Look, you're 4-4. I get it. This team has not been good. You can't sugarcoat it at this point. We're halfway through the year, and this Chiefs team has not been good. But at least you're 4-4. Most teams that play bad are 2-6, 1-7. This team, at least with their talent, has found a way to be 500. You're still in the mix. I'm not saying you should be like, oh, this team's going to the Super Bowl, but we know this team is capable. Hopefully they can, they can flip the switch at some point soon. This NFL mailbag is presented by Manscaped. The NFL trade deadline is in the books, so we're going to answer some questions following the deadline. Shout out to Manscaped for being today's sponsor, the best men's grooming products on the market. Go to manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off plus free shipping. It's the best men's grooming products out there. Hashtag NFL or Super Chat, and we will answer as many questions as we can here on today's show. Let's start with this one from Nick, a super chat. Appreciate it. Rivers open to coming out of retirement for the Saints. So there was a report on Tuesday that Phillip Rivers would be willing to listen to the Saints. And that's interesting. A couple of months ago in August, he said, look, I'm staying in shape. If the right opportunity opened up, I wouldn't rule it out. The Saints losing Jameis Winston, but sitting at 5-2, feels like a good opportunity considering Sean Payton coaches that team, and ironically enough, this would be the second time Phillip Rivers replaces Drew Brees, because if you remember, the Chargers drafted Rivers and let Brees go in free agency way back when, and now Brees retired after last year, he could replace him kind of once again. Burning Spades, he's back. Thoughts on moves for the Falcons with the loss of Calvin Ridley? Obviously the trade deadline's over, but moving forward, I think you'll kind of get a better feel this offseason if Ridley's going to return for next year. I think it's pretty safe to say he won't return this year. We'll see if that changes. If he's gone, then receiver becomes a major need because you traded Julio Jones this offseason. You've got Kyle Pitts at tight end, but receiver becomes a major focus if you are Atlanta this offseason, whether that's in the draft or in free agency. Zachary Lindborgen, trade deadline was an L per usual, although just came out that the Saints tried to trade for OBJ, but they couldn't agree. I haven't seen that report, but if that's true, that is interesting. I would have liked OBJ in New Orleans, but you got to figure out what's the quarterback situation. Is it Taysom Hill? I don't know if OBJ really helps Taysom Hill, if I'm being completely honest. Evan Talks Sports, are the Cowboys a team that would sign Cam Newton to be a backup for Dak Prescott just in case he gets hurt? I will say this. Now that Cam is vaccinated, that helps his cause for getting signed because teams have made it pretty clear. If you're a backup player and you're unvaxxed, you're pretty expendable. That's just the reality of the situation. But also, Cooper Rush just played pretty well. I think the Cowboys are comfortable with him. He knows the playbook. Cam obviously does not. I don't see the Cowboys signing Cam Newton unless Dak were to suffer a major injury, and obviously that has not been the case here. Will a team sign Cam Newton? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I think now that the trade deadline has passed, this becomes more of a possibility, but let me know what you guys think. Will he get signed at some point this year? Give me a Y for yes, or you can give me an in for no. The General Store, how did Derrick Henry play through such a serious injury? He's tough as hell. He's big as hell, but he did have a foot surgery on Tuesday morning. That went well. We'll see if he has a chance to return this year. It sounds like he may not. They did sign Adrian Peterson in Tennessee to help replace him. But It's a bummer because he was having an MVP caliber season. Izzy World, is Dak still in the MVP race? Yes. Missing one game isn't going to cost you the MVP. I would argue it, if anything, it helped because while Cooper Rush played fairly well, I think it's clear Dallas would have blown out Minnesota if Dak was healthy and played in that game. Now, if he misses a couple more games, that'll take him out of it. But if he only misses one, maybe 2 games and balls out and the Cowboys get the number 1 seed in the NFC, he's absolutely in the hunt. Mark Kearns, how can Miami take a quarterback when Philadelphia has their first-round pick? Oh, you know what? On our live NFL trade deadline coverage show, I may have mentioned this, or Tom may have. That's true. Philly has their picks, so it's got to be hard to draft a quarterback to replace Tua there. So we'll see how they address quarterback this offseason. Appreciate the correction from you, Mark. From one Mark to another, Mark Mullo, what is the future of the Lions in Detroit after countless losing seasons? I mean, I don't think they're leaving Detroit, if that's what you're alluding to there. The future of the team as a whole is you just got to get good young talent, man. They're a talentless roster. They have no good receivers. They have a talentless defense. I do think the offensive line has some nice pieces. I like DeAndre Swift at running back. Obviously, Jared Goff is a stopgap guy. He's fine for now, but he's not the long-term solution. You're going to have to figure that out, whether that's in the draft or in free agency. But, yeah, I mean, it's tough times right now for Detroit. But that's why you trade Matthew Stafford for picks. Hopefully you can do something with those picks. Kool-Aid Man, I wouldn't pay Baker at all, franchise tag next year, then trade for Russell Wilson. Look, if I'm Cleveland, the way Baker has played this year, I know he's injured, he's banged up, the left shoulder's a problem. I'm at least fairly hesitant because he plays his best when they have an elite rushing attack. And now that Chubb and Hunt have been banged up, you're seeing just okay quarterback play. I'm sure the injury is factoring in there, but are you ready to back up the Brink truck for $38-40 million a year for Baker? That seems like a heavy investment for a guy that's good, but is he great? Is he elite? Is he top 8 in the NFL? I don't think he's top 8. I don't know if he's top 10. He's somewhere in that 12 to 15 range, and that's kind of the range of, okay, it's a tough decision. I would guess they'll pay him, but maybe he has to take a little bit less than what the high-end franchise guys are getting. DJ Kane with the Super Chat. Any news on Cam? Not currently, as we're filming this on Tuesday. That could change, but depending on when you're watching this, as of now, as of Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, as we're filming this, no news at this point in time. Manscaped has the best men's grooming products on the open market. The holiday season is here, and Manscaped leads the way when it comes to hygiene, especially for males out there. Get 20% off the Lawnmower 4.0 and all of their products when you go to manscaped.com/chat. You also get free shipping when you use that link as well. The Lawnmower is fantastic. It helps shave your family jewels, if you will. They've got 4 adjustable guards where maybe you want to leave a little bit of hair downstairs. You're not a fully clean-shaven guy. You can just trim if you want to as well. Wireless charging station. You can shave in the shower as it's waterproof. This is a great product. You see the markdown price. $71 sounds like a lot. I'm not going to say, it's dirt cheap, but I've had my lawnmower for 2 years, and the battery life is super long, and it's a great product. So I think it's well worth the investment. Manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off plus free shipping. We'll make sure that link and that promo stuff is in the YouTube copy. All right, Ariel Zuniga. Can the Raiders get comp picks for losing Ruggs? I don't think so, man. This is a very unique situation. By the way, I'll just add, I don't think that should be the immediate reaction and focus. How can the Raiders benefit from this? Someone lost their life, and that should be the focus on the victim and their family. This is a tragic situation that happened here on Tuesday morning. If you haven't seen the news, I don't know how you haven't. Ruggs has been charged with DUI. What was the charge, Sam? DUI resulting in death. DUI resulting in death, basically meaning he was driving drunk and someone died because of that in a car crash he caused. That's a bad situation. That's tragic. He made an awful decision. There's no way to sugarcoat it. His future playing career is beyond in doubt, he could serve jail time, guys, like 2 to 20 years based on this felony charge, and also some other potential situations as well. Probably a money charge as well, a civil charge coming his way, I would imagine as well. It's not good. Ruggs is in a bad spot. The Raiders are in a bad spot as well. I don't know if they can get comp picks for him, but I don't think that should be the focus. Disco Jayon says, are the Dolphins getting Deshaun Watson? So, obviously, the trade deadline has passed. They did not agree to a trade. I think this will heat back up this offseason because Tua's future is very much questionable there. If we can get more clarity on Deshaun Watson's legal situation, I think a trade could happen. But until it's unknown, until these 22 sexual assault claims, as long as they're still out there, I think it was just proven at the trade deadline, he's basically impossible to trade right now because those allegations are very, very strong. Uno, who will be the wild card in the NFC? Well, we've got the playoff picture. We can kind of see where we sit here. I continue to repeat, the top 5 teams are set for the playoffs in the NFC. The Packers are going to win the North. The Rams or the Cardinals will win the West. The Cowboys are winning the East. It'll probably be the Bucs in the South, even though they just lost to New Orleans. But with Jameis Winston going down and uncertainty with New Orleans' quarterback situation, I'll say Tampa wins there. New Orleans has a pretty firm grip on the number 6 seed, but that could certainly change depending on if they start losing games with questionable quarterback play. Out of Carolina, Minnesota, San Francisco, Atlanta, Philly, Chicago, and Seattle, one of those teams is making the playoffs. If Russell Wilson gets healthy quick enough, maybe they sneak in and become one of the more dangerous 7 seeds in NFL history because no one wants to face Russell Wilson come playoff time. So that will certainly be interesting, but that's kind of where we sit through 8 weeks in the season. Are you an NFL fan? I assume you are if you're watching us right now. Subscribe because we have daily videos on the NFL, the latest news, rumors, mailbags. We do kind of our own version of Red Zone on Sundays. We're keeping you guys up to date on all of the game action on Sunday. Usually the early games, sometimes the afternoon games as well. Hit that big red button. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. More free videos here on Chat Sports. We got time for a few more questions. Zachary says, do the Packers not making moves kind of seal the deal for Rodgers? Adam retweeted the info about Odell. I still haven't seen this Odell thing, so I don't know what that means, but I don't know if it seals the deal. If they go out and win a Super Bowl, maybe he would decide to return. But I do think it may have been sealed already. Rodgers seems pretty firm in that he wants this to be his last year in Green Bay. Maybe that changes, but as of now, I think that is his stance. Umbreon, did the Eagles trade for him? They did not make a trade. They did not trade for anybody, I should say. They, of course, traded Joe Flacco a couple of days ago. But, yeah, they did not. They were not active at the trade deadline. Eric Simmons, can Von Miller help the Rams' defense? Yes. You don't trade a second and a third unless if you don't think he can. They sent a 2022 second and third to Denver. Pick-wise, it's a slight overpay, but the Broncos ate most of Miller's salary to make the trade work. Von Miller's still a good player. He's not elite. He's not prime Von Miller, but he absolutely can help. The Rams are all in, which is very admirable. If you're a fan of the Rams, you should love the way they approach these things because they're always trying to win Super Bowls. They haven't won one yet, but they're in the mix every year, it seems like, and especially now with Matthew Stafford instead of Jared Goff. They are absolutely a major Super Bowl contender. I think Von Miller helps, and I think this team is pretty complete on both sides of the football. King Bam, Lions offseason signings. We'll see. You got to get receivers in there. Allen Robinson. Devontae Adams will be a free agent. Do you just throw the bag at him? Would he leave Green Bay for Detroit? You have to pay a lot. Michael Gallup could be a more realistic name, by the way. Super chat here. Why did the Chiefs go for a tight end? They were dumping LDT. That's it. Don't overlook this trade, and we can flash it real quick. LDT to the Jets for Daniel Brown. Brown's a blocking guy. This is not about Daniel Brown. This is about saving a little bit of cap by shipping out Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. And, I mean, as far as depth is concerned, you did lose Jody Fortson at tight end, so Brown's at least a depth piece at the end of the day. Who do you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl? We're just about halfway through the year. So who's winning it? Let us know down in the comments. Like I said, Bills versus Bucks was my prediction earlier on Tuesday. But there's a lot of contenders. There's 7, 8, 9, 10 contenders at this point in the year. It feels somewhat wide open, which is exciting. DeQuanta Clark, who would you pair with the Colts? I don't know. Oh, Michael Pittman Jr., free agent or underrated draft pick. I think you need more speed in that offense. T.Y. Hilton hadn't been able to stay healthy. If you could get a guy that could kind of replicate what he was able to do in his prime, that's ideal. That's the type of receiver I would look at, whether it's in the draft or in free agency. Get some speed on the outside. I love MPJ. He's a really good player. Mans the slot mostly. I think he's got a very, very bright future. This might be the final word here. Not NFL related, but who is your top 4 ahead of the CFP rankings? All right, Mark. We're actually going to go live. I still think that's the plan. If you're watching live here on Tuesday at 6:45 Eastern, 5:45 Central, myself, and then Michigan man himself, James Yoder, are going to break down the first CFP rankings. This is very hard because I don't know who's going to be number 2 behind Georgia. The only thing I know for sure, Georgia will be number 1. I'll just guess. I'm going to guess that they put Alabama at 2, which I would hate. They'll put Michigan State at 3, who just beat Michigan, and then Cincinnati 4 with Oklahoma at 5. But I think they could put Bama at 2. I think that'd be stupid, but let's be honest. That's what this committee is. It kind of does. So it is what it is. What X Trezzy, appreciate the super. I lost hope for KC, but I hope Engram helps us. Look, you're 4-4. I get it. This team has not been good. You can't sugarcoat it at this point. We're halfway through the year, and this Chiefs team has not been good. But at least you're 4-4. Most teams that play bad are 2-6, 1-7. This team, at least with their talent, has found a way to be 500. You're still in the mix. I'm not saying you should be like, oh, this team's going to the Super Bowl, but we know this team is capable. Hopefully they can, they can flip the